Football season is weird because we actually look forward to Mondays. It's Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Now launching. The dumbest radio show in America. Welcome to Common Man and T-Bone.
Because I love all the candles and the scents and everything. They greet me like Norm.
Oh, yeah,
from
right.
Cheers.
They know when you come in.
Common Man's here. Yes, you got anything in Bubbles that's new?
In Bubbles?
I like the foaming hand soaps.
Oh, I see.
I can't have a regular soap.
Yeah,
I got to
right.
have it foaming.
Who wants the goo? I need it to be like someone, like a baby is spitting up on your hand.
Featuring Panama Ted.
Too hot.
Timmy Hall.
I will rub one on my face.
And a collection of profane noises.
Coach?
No, Dom.
I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
I want me some glory hole.
I'll keep it in the room.
Stop breathing. It used to be a lot longer.
The numbers don't lie.
This is Stupid. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday, Reaction Monday. Hello, Boner.
Hello, man.
Good to be with you.
Welcome back.
The segment that's not a segment, Yikes, at 4:34 today. Jason's Beef at 5:34. Jayson is live from Yankee Stadium because they have this little thing called the World Series. They are playing it there tonight.
We're going to talk to a Hall of Famer who's covered baseball for 40 years about the World Series. I don't know.
I think you're light on the 40 years.
Okay, right. I'm
He's
saying
in his early 70s.
I'm just trying to be. I didn't want to. I don't want to be like for 60 years, and he's like, I was 12 when that would have been. I'm not. Anyway, he's covered it for a long time.
Yes,
we got a legend talking baseball about the World Series. I love that.
You know what else happened at Yankee Stadium with him?
What's that?
He put some dead bodies in the concrete in the foundation.
Is that right?
Yes. He killed his rivals. Because that's the story about Yankee Stadium when they were building it.
Oh, they did a little. Well, the old one or the new one?
No, the new one.
Oh, the new one did this.
They dropped some bodies in there.
I didn't know about. I mean, that was just a few years ago. Who
actually? It's probably been over a decade.
Well, still okay. Yeah, so 2014. I'm just saying
they dug up Hoffa wherever he was. And then put him inside new Yankee Stadium.
If you told me like the old Yankee Stadium they did that, I'd be like, yeah, there weren't as many, I don't know, security cameras and cell phones and stuff. But like
those things turned
2014
right
or whenever that was, it's like telling me that just seems like Instagram was around at that
cell
point.
Cell phones capture everything, Bone, unless you're trying to catch Bigfoot. And then Bigfoot will always ignore the cell phone.
Well, he knows. He can sense Bluetooth.
He senses it. And when a Bigfoot dies, the body
decomposes instantly?
Instantly.
Yeah.
So there's no evidence at all that this thing ever existed.
Hey, man. What do you think bears live off of? You saw these fat bears this time of year getting ready for hibernation season. They're eating sasquatch.
That's right.
There's no bones left over either because they eat the bones too. That's how it works.
Yikes. Monday. Here's how it works on a Monday. First hour of the program, lots of Buckeye news, lots of college football. 4 o'clock hour, Brownies, Bengals, NFL. 5 o'clock hour, a little flavorful broth, a mix of everything. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad
to be here. Buckeyes beat Nebraska 21-17. So that was a little bit closer than all of us expected it to be, especially after we watched Nebraska go out there and crap themselves against Indiana, who is good. But, again, that was an all-time ass-kicking. They came in here on Saturday, and depending on which side of the coin you look at, either played their asses off and played very inspired football, tough football, or this team that is so angry that we've heard about. This Buckeye football team coming off a bye, and oh my God, I feel sorry for the rest of the schedule. They weren't as good as they should be. So one of those two things is true. Which one is it?
I mean, I tend to think that, you know me, I'm very cynical. I don't
believe that.
I have this little thing called expectations around the Buckeye football team that I'm told of late are kind of weird and wrong to have because lots of teams are doing NIL, lots of people do transfer portal. So if the Buckeyes have a close game against Nebraska, it's no big deal. I think context is important. If Ohio State had been smacking everyone, if they'd gone to Autzen Stadium and won that game, if they'd just been destroying everyone, and then they had this little hiccup against Nebraska, there would be a little bit of a concern, but we would all say, well, you had the bye week, you have Penn State next week, a little bit of a trap game. What I do think matters is the fact that you played Oregon tough but lost, and it was very close. That's the type of thing that fires up most teams to get to a point where they go, I can't wait to get back out on the field. Oh, we have to wait a week? That sucks. And then that builds, right? And then you just have a great week of prep, 2 weeks of prep. You get ready for this game. You come out, and then you blitz Nebraska. And you make them feel like, oh, my God, they shouldn't even be on the same field. Instead, what we saw was a team that looked like, yet again, the same issues that keep coming up whenever they play a formidable defense. Offensive line can't get a push. Defensive line can't do anything unless they're blitzing, and they don't do that enough, and it became a close game. So that's with a freshman quarterback on the road who we're all not quite sure if Raiola is exactly like the guy right now. I don't think that's
he had all the hype coming out, but you're right. He's a true freshman.
True freshman on the road. Well, you can't expect to be like ahead of him in the fourth quarter. You can expect to be trailing that guy in the fourth quarter. That doesn't compute for me as a Buckeye fan who's watched this team since Earl Bruce was the coach.
Let me ask you a question about that. And we're going to talk about the Buckeyes, but just Matt Rule's just a genius. Mm-hmm. And he has the Cornhusker program pointed in the right direction. That's what I'm told. So they go out and they get Dylan Raiola, who once upon a time was an Ohio State commit.
Yep.
And then where did he go? Was it Georgia? He committed to that.
He committed to Georgia
and then went to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Because Daddy went to Nebraska, and I guess he got a nice deal there. Whatever.
Right.
So he's there. They clearly think he's the best quarterback on their roster, or he wouldn't be playing. So, true freshman, top quarterback in the country. You're on the road against the Buckeyes. You just got your ass beat by Indiana. Mm-hmm. You got nothing to lose here. Buckeyes are coming off the bye. They're angry. Nobody expects you to win this. And instead, the Nebraska offensive game plan was, let's have this highly touted quarterback who's supposed to be all-world playing in a game that we're not supposed to win, throw 1-yard passes the entire game.
Right.
Explain that to me.
I have, again, if the idea was we're trying not to let Ohio State's secondary just, take over. But again, we've seen that secondary tested a little bit this year and hasn't always passed the test.
Now, it's worked in our favor. I'm glad they did. My principal complaints with the team performance on Saturday have little to do with the Buckeye defense and more about the slow start again for the Buckeye offense. Really, slow start's not right. You scored 21 points. It was slow the entire time.
You couldn't run the ball.
Right.
I mean, I know there's offensive line injuries. I understand that. But this is where, and I know some people get sick of hearing about this, but I think it's a constant theme that needs to be brought up when these type of things happen. You have an offensive line problem because you have an offensive line recruiting problem because you have an offensive line coach who doesn't seem to get the best talent and develop the talent that he does get. And that's been an ongoing issue that has not been addressed by your head coach, whose name is Ryan Day. So, yes, I know there are injuries. Losing your left tackles, multiple, in a season is not ideal. Also, I know that the depth at Ohio State is about as thin as it's ever been on the offensive line before the injuries.
And we talked about this in the offseason. So why can this Buckeye team go out and get 5-star talent pretty much at any position they want, except for the offensive line? Why?
Which would seem to be a place that if Ohio State was going to be able to get offensive line talent, you should have 10 to 12 guys in the state that would be helpful to you. You should be able to get 4 or 5 guys that are obviously, from around the country that are 5-star type guys. You should be able to land a few of those. I'm just saying the idea that Ohio State is thin at offensive line because of injuries alone is a false statement to me. It's because of the negligence in recruiting that's happened. And I was willing in the summer, I said, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if this thing turns around eventually. Let's see if maybe this is the year where finally we see some improvement on the offensive line. But we haven't. And from the defensive line standpoint, as much as, yes, the defense played much better, defense, I think, won this game for Ohio State, you still saw, unless they are blitzing, you're not getting home with just 4 guys. That's not happening. You're not getting that push on short yardage situations by and large.
I am concerned. If you're part of the Sunshine Brigade, then we're probably not the right show for you. Here, my concern is very simple. You lost a game at Oregon that I think you're better than them, and I think it'll turn out that you're better than them. You don't have a safety net. Don't talk to me about 12-team playoff. That's not the goal here. The goal here is not to sneak into a 12-team playoff.
Right.
The goal here, I'm so sorry, because I'm told this is just ridiculous, is to win the Big Ten. Win the Big Ten, which Ryan Day has not done recently or had the opportunity to do. Win the Big Ten and then go to the playoffs and make noise. And along the way, beating Michigan for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, these are the expectations. They're clear and simple. Now with that loss to Oregon, your safety net is gone. What happens next week? I don't know. What type of team is Penn State? I don't know. Is their quarterback healthy? I don't know. But let me ask you a question. Do you feel comfortable, Buckeye fans, going into that environment next week? Because I don't.
No.
I don't.
I'm told by everyone that Oregon was just the loudest and craziest environment. And it was,
Okay.
Again, they get 60,000 people in there.
Get ready.
You're going on the road to one of the largest college football stadiums in America.
I have been to State College where they threw bags of urine at me.
Right.
And look, it would be justified if they knew who I was. But they didn't. I go home, my wife throws bags of urine at me.
Sure.
But these people didn't know me. That's just what they do there.
Yeah, I am quite sure you will see a better effort from the Buckeyes than what you got against Nebraska. The question, again, with Ryan Day is it a top 5 team you're playing? Now, you have dueling bads happening at coaching there when it comes to Ryan Day has trouble with top 5 teams. James Franklin has trouble with winning the games that get you to a championship. James Franklin has been this guy for his entire career.
And answering questions at a microphone.
Well.
About rapey guys.
No, that's all right. He apologized for that. Today he came out, oops, my bad. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done that. Anyway, that's kind of the battle that you have going on this week with which coach will change their narrative a little bit next week with whatever happens in that game. But the overall larger picture with Ryan Day is you have to prove that you can do this. And coming out of that Oregon game, a week to sit around, we heard about all this improvement that was made, and then this was the performance we got. Why is that wrong for Buckeye fans to say, that didn't look like what I thought it would? I thought it would be better than that. You won the game. Congratulations. But that's not the standard at Ohio State is, hey, as long as we win all our games, sure. The problem becomes when they play teams that are better than Nebraska with not a freshman quarterback. How's that going to go for you when your offense can't run the football?
We'll take a look at some numbers from the 21-17 victory. Also, new polls are out. Details next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a couple minutes slowdown on westbound 670 between 71 and 3rd Street. And you should watch out for an accident that's on the right shoulder of southbound 71. On the north side, approaching 270, that's causing some holdup there. You're also going to hit a delay on southbound 71 on the north side between 670 and I-70. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, announcing our $99 home preventative maintenance checkup. Carpenter & Bryant will do whatever it takes to get you ready for the fall and winter ahead. Check us out at carpentercolumbus.com. That's carpentercolumbus.com.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
Bo Bishop here. Join us for the Make a Difference Gala, High Bank Distillery, November 12th. It's bourbon, food, and fun with Brady Quinn, Bobby Carpenter, and me. The gala benefits the Third and Goal Foundation, making a difference in the lives of veterans. Get your tickets today at 971thefan.com. 21 or older, please drink responsibly.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
You know, Ohio's Supreme Court makes headlines for the wrong reasons. They even ruled it's okay for boneless chicken wings to have bones that can choke kids.
But we can stop their extreme one-party politics by voting for Mike Donnelly, Melody Stewart, and Lisa Forbes for Ohio's Supreme Court.
Right. Ohio's newspapers say Donnelly, Stewart, and Forbes are the clear choice.
We need an experienced, independent court we can trust. And Donnelly, Stewart, and Forbes will judge the Reproductive Freedom Amendment fairly and honestly, protecting our rights, safety, and families.
Ohioans deserve independent justice, transparency, and equal treatment under the law. That's why we really need Donnelly, Stewart, and Forbes to provide checks and balances.
Don't stop fighting for your rights, freedoms, and choices. But do remember to vote for Mike Donnelly, Melody Stewart, and Lisa Forbes.
Paid for by Donnelly for Supreme Court, Stewart for Ohio Supreme Court, and Forbes for Justice.
Low energy, brain fog, or bloating? Your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Lots going on in the world of weather this week. Today, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, high 69. Record warmth on your Tuesday and Wednesday. Both days, highs will be in the 80s. And then some heavy rainfall possibly by Halloween. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Come for the obesity, stay for the anger. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Please subscribe to the podcast of this stupid show. It's available wherever you get your podcast. Just search Common Man and T-Bone. Click. Subscribe. Every single show comes right to your device free of charge. The podcast is brought to you by our friends Care Heating and Cooling. Buckeyes beat Nebraska 21-17. I've already seen some people talk about how I have been at this radio station for 21 years, and it never fails. Whenever you play a game that was unnecessarily close, everybody will point to 2002 and say, look at all the close games they won in 2002, and look what happened. I mean, it's like clockwork. All right, fine, let's play this game.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, yeah, all right. They played unnecessarily close games in 2002, which they probably shouldn't have. Now, they did go on to win the national championship. Congratulations. There was also no Big Ten championship game then.
Nope.
Your bowl game consisted of, well, you finished in the top of the AP.
Yeah.
So there you go, play for the national championship. That's it. We're not talking about this Buckeye team just getting through. Even that 12-0 team, when Urban took over, right? Mm-hmm. That 12-0 team that had close miracle victories the entire time, they did not go play for a national championship because of the bowl ban that they didn't take the year earlier.
Right.
Coming off of the Fickle year. They would have played Notre Dame there. That's one game. As bad as they looked at times that year in that 12-0 season, that's one game you have to go out there and play better than your opponent. The Buckeyes aren't in that position. You've got to go through this Big Ten schedule. You've got to go to Indy, win the Big Ten championship game. Then you're in a 12-team playoff.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy. And I know that it shouldn't be, right? But the idea that we apply the standards from 22 years ago to this team and say, well, hey, as long as they win. First of all, let's be consistent. Did Jim Tressel's teams have any L's next to all those close games that they played, or did they win them all? Yes, I know that they played what? Was it Marshall that year where Nuge hit the field goal, or Ohio maybe? One of the, it was a green school.
I don't think it was that year. I think it was the year after that.
Okay, well, either way, we know about Holy Buckeye from Purdue. That was that year. We had lots of close games that year.
Yeah, Illinois.
Yeah. Cincinnati game.
Cincinnati game.
Yes.
Was NC State that year?
No,
that was the next year.
Can I give you a hot take, too?
Go ahead.
Here's a hot take. If there was a 12-team playoff in 2002, that team doesn't win the championship. Sorry.
Probably not.
There's my hot take for you.
That would have been a very tough, you're right, that would have been a tough ask.
We're also not dealing with, $12 to $15 million worth of NIL. Here's another little wrinkle with NIL money. Here's what I know about rich people. Rich people who can afford to donate the big money. And I'm not talking about those of you who sign up for an exclusive podcast here and there, stand on the field to watch practice once in a while. I'm talking about the real meat and potatoes of the NIL world. Mm-hmm. It's coming from a small group of people, a pool of people. These guys and gals like to see returns on their investment. If this Ryan Day Buckeye team doesn't go out this year and accomplish what many expect them to, do you think they're going to be lining up next year, handing out the cash like they were this offseason?
No.
I guarantee you it's not. I've actually talked to some people who have given cash, not $2 for this team, and they're not interested again.
Well, this is something that if you go look around the world of NIL, it's not just here. There are lots of places where I know Georgia's had trouble getting their NIL dollars to flow because people said, hey, we spent the money for you to win national championships and you won them. And that was fun. And we'll spend it again next year. We're just a little tapped out right now. You got all these guys, though. You just won the championship. That happens when you win. When you lose and you tell everybody we need, $13 million last year, $20 million now is supposedly the number. I don't buy into the idea that people say about, well, there's dozen teams or more that are spending what Ohio State is. Cool. Do they have any of the built-in advantages that Ohio State has, namely that they've been that team that's competing top 5 national championship level every year for the better part of my entire existence as a kid? I mean, mid-90s with John Cooper, we can all mock that era, and rightfully so. The first half of the 90s, those were 6 and 5 teams and stuff like that happened occasionally. But late 90s, he had teams that were best talent in the country and then stumbled against Michigan 9 times out of 10.
That remind me a lot of these teams.
Yes. Teams that they looked really good on paper. They had, you can go look at those rosters, see how many of those guys went to the NFL.
They were really good.
They were really good. But they had a couple of areas where they were a little deficient, and they would play a team like Michigan, and for whatever reason, they couldn't figure it out. Ryan Day seems to have an issue now with, despite having a lot of talent, when a team has a very physical battle in the trenches waiting for you, this team that he's had, multiple different iterations of it, have struggled in physical Big Ten games when it comes down to the wire. And yeah, Michigan this year doesn't look nearly as gnarly as they had the last few years. They don't have Connor Stallions around either. But all that aside, beating Michigan, you need to do that. You also need to beat Penn State this week on the road. You also need to win a Big Ten championship, likely if you get back there, against Oregon, who already showed you how tough they are. Then after that, you're probably going to have to play 2 games to 3 games against really tough competition again that is going to be physical. You think Georgia's defensive, offensive lines are going to be tough? You think like a team, I don't know, like Tennessee, do they seem pretty physical and tough?
I was watching Notre Dame this past weekend. They beat Navy.
Smoked them.
Right, beat the crap out of Navy.
Knocked the ball out of their hands a lot.
Notre Dame may have one of the best one-loss teams in the country because their victory that they have now over Texas A&M looks very good.
Yeah.
I don't want to play A&M right now.
I don't.
Do you?
Nope.
They're playing fantastic football right now. I don't want to touch them.
Yeah. The point here with this Buckeye team is we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. But a lot of us Buckeye fans, because there's a week in between these games, we do judge them and say, you know what? If this happens next week, bad. Hot take, that would be bad. If you play like you did this weekend here in State College, you will lose that game.
Here's a hot take. Can't do this next week. 1 of 10 on third down.
No.
That's what we saw against Nebraska.
Unacceptable.
285 total yards.
Now,
this isn't 2002.
Will Howard had an okay day, I thought. He had some trouble occasionally reading.
Except for the one pick.
Well, and he had some trouble reading, like, I don't know. I don't know why they have him do an RPO. Just design quarterback run and go. And I guess the answer is you can't because your offensive line doesn't get a push for you. But how is this team, how are they not able to run the ball better? 64 yards on the ground. Because your offensive line couldn't get a push. And again, I'm going to hear about injuries.
Yeah, 64 rushing.
It's Ohio State. You're not. Yeah, you're right. If North Carolina loses their starting couple offensive linemen, a couple guys off the offensive line, they're probably screwed. Lots of teams around the country are. Ohio State should not be one of those teams. Alabama, Georgia, Texas should not be those teams that if you lose a few guys off the offensive line, oh no, now half our game plan is just out the window.
Well, you don't understand though, Bone. This Nebraska team was embarrassed against Indiana, so they were hell-bent on coming in here and giving us a game. Unlike this Buckeye team that lost a game that they probably think they shouldn't have lost out in Oregon, also coming off a bye in front of their home crowd. And we've been told for the last 2 weeks how angry this team is. The reality is Nebraska gave up 500 total yards to Indiana.
Yes.
By the way, we're not talking about that game. Still on the schedule, homies.
I know.
That Indiana game is on the schedule.
That is, am I wrong? That's the week before Michigan. So
yeah, you're right.
So you have a whatever. I don't know what Indiana. Half their guys I think are from like James Madison, and I
don't care.
But you know what it is?
I don't want to play him.
Kurt Cignetti was smart when he did this. He brought in a bunch of guys who are like, yes, I'm able to like basically rent a car and not pay the youth premium on the insurance. They're grown men he brought over with him. Guys that have played for him. Guys that know what they're doing. Now they're not going to be the 5-star guys, but they know how to play. That's what he has on that team. He went on the portal and got some dudes. This is now where you live in college football. And I guess this is the argument some are making. Oh, well, you can't expect to just beat everyone by a lot if you're Ohio State. It's not the transitive property of football. It's not saying, oh, no, if they don't beat Nebraska by the same points, Indiana will then beat them.
That's not what we're doing.
But we are literally looking at a team that played 8 days apart and saying, when Indiana played them and destroyed them, that almost means nothing. Don't even read into that. When Ohio State plays Nebraska tough, that's the real Nebraska. I don't know who the real Ohio State is right now. That's the bigger concern.
You're coming off a loss. We've been told for the last week how angry this team is. And they're going to show you. And that's the performance that we got. So if you're satisfied with it, more power to you. I'm nervous about what's to come. All right, I swear to you. AP poll is out. We'll talk about that. Plus, remember the news anchor fight scene from Anchorman?
Yeah.
When they got together in the alley? That's going to come true.
Oh.
That's really going to happen this weekend, including some former Buckeyes. Details next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should watch for some slowdown due to an accident that's in the construction area of southbound 270 on the East Outer Belt after I-70. It's blocking the right lane there. We've got some stop-and-go traffic that's causing a 5-minute delay if you're on westbound 70 downtown between the 71 East and West split. This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is brought to you by Monogram Homes. Start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit Monogram Homes online at monogramhomes.net.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com roosters.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Cap off Week 8 in the NFL with a chance to win on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Listen up. New customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins on tonight's game. And here's what you got. You got an SGP. That's the same game parlay for MNF. That's Monday Night Football, Giants and Steelers. You got Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. Maybe you take the over on his passing TDs. You got Malik Neighbors, receiving yards. Take over Najee Harris anytime touchdown. Hey, who knows? Maybe you get crazy and you throw Danny Dimes in the mix, Beam.
I'm taking the under on Giants points scored. Tell you that much. Just visit FanDuel.com/juice. Make every moment more of the season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older. Present in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
James Laurinaitis for Custom Air. Custom Air is devoted to quality, customer service, and trust. They are always there when you need them, and they deliver on what they promise. That's how they do things. It's the Custom Air way. Custom Air, custom solutions, custom comfort. CustomAirColumbus.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Morning Juice.
Sometimes you maybe make a mistake. How do you recover from that? What do you do? How do you go about solving it? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture expert technicians who are quick but not rushed. When you hear the bell, breathe in and out. Now, let go of your oil change-anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today and find automotive peace. No appointment needed.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Start at Columbus State Community College. When companies like Intel need to fill thousands of new jobs in Central Ohio, they hire Columbus State graduates. Our engineering technology programs equip you with skills and experience to launch a high-tech career in Columbus's fast-growing fields. And our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Take the first step. Apply at cscc.edu/engineeringtech.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, talks about what makes First Bank of Central Ohio different.
I would say it starts by caring. It starts by doing what you say you're going to do and following through on it. When you're talking about local, you're talking about relationships and people that matter to you. I don't care if that's personally or professionally.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
Get out there and have some fun in a new Toyota. With more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, anything's possible. Like the family-size Highlander with room for up to 8. Now through November 4th, you can lease a Highlander XLE all-wheel drive for $489 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just be glad you aren't as stupid as these two.
Oh, yes.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. It's also Yikes Monday. All right, 8 people. Oregon stays at 1. Georgia 2, Penn State 3, Ohio State 4. So same as last week there. Miami up 1 spot to 5. Texas down 1 spot to 6. Tennessee stays at 7. Notre Dame, they're back in the top 10, up 4 spots, number 8. BYU up 2 spots to 9. And Texas A&M arrives in the top 10, up 4 spots to be at number 10. Other Big Ten teams, Indiana is at 13. Illinois is at 24. And that's it for the Big Ten Conference.
Hey, I had a quick thought on it. You mentioned Indiana there. I had somebody say this to me the other day, that if Indiana, if they had like Michigan's uniforms on instead of their own, where would you rank them in this poll? And
the way, dude, you're not wrong. Like the amount of games they have had this year, what does the committee always talk about? At least depending on the week, they'll bring up game control as like one of the things that where they rank these guys in playoff fashion is going to matter. How about a team that's won every game pretty much by, I think every game by double digits? 31-7, 77-3, 42-13, 52-14, 42-28, 41-24, 56-7, 31-17 this past week.
Yeah, they would be ranked like second in the country.
Yes.
Say even Michigan, or even like if they were Ohio State.
If they had Ohio State's jerseys on it,
whatever.
These are better scores than what we got.
Yes.
I'll take these scores. I'm not saying I want their team, but now their competition level isn't the same. They haven't played Oregon yet. But
no, they're one of the few teams, though, to go out west and beat UCLA.
That's right.
Most Big Ten teams, when they go take the trip out there, they lose.
Well, we're going to find out a little bit more about this team, right? In the next 4 weeks, this is their schedule. They're on the road at Michigan State, win. But then they play Michigan, they play Ohio State, and they finish up with Purdue. It's not out of the question that this team loses one game max.
That game against Michigan for Indiana is at home.
Yes.
I will be shocked if they lose that game.
I would too.
Based on what we've seen from the Wolverines, unless there's some sort of drastic change between now and then, I'll be shocked if they lose that game.
And their starting quarterback, the Ohio transfer, he didn't even play this week, right? Because he had the thumb issue. They're hoping that he'll be back maybe next week, or certainly by the time they play Ohio State. You would think he'll be good to go. By the time they play Michigan, probably. So they beat...
What's his name, Rourke?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said he's going to play against Michigan State.
Right. So they beat Washington without their starting quarterback and still did it in, like, again,
31-17.
Not dominating fashion, but comfortable
31-17.
That's the type of game where if you have that happen and you are an undefeated team and you're smoking everybody else, you lose your starting quarterback and you still win. Again, if that was an Ohio State or Michigan uniform on those guys, you're right, Ted. They would probably be up. They'd be either first or second.
All right, here's some good news that we got today. So Arvell Reese, who was ejected for the targeting, and it was in the second half, so he's suspended for the first half against Penn State. The school appealed that with the league. All right?
Yeah.
The Big Ten looked at it today and said, oops, no targeting. They've rescinded the targeting, which, why do you have replay for it then? Okay? That's the whole point of this, is that it's supposed to be clear and obvious. These officials are trained in what targeting is. So the Big Ten says Arvell Reese not suspended now for the first half against Penn State. Here's what I would love to see. And we're never going to see it, I know, but here's what I'd love to see. When players screw up and screw up often, they're held to account.
Mm-hmm.
Either by their own coaches, teammates, fans, whatever. Unless you're Deshaun Watson, and then you're never held to account by your own teammates.
Right. No,
as long as you work hard.
You just have to wait on Mother Nature or God or whatever you think causes the universe to do things. That's who you got to wait on there.
You had another terribly officiated game. Go ask Nebraska, too, how that first half drive ended for them.
Right.
Where they're spotting the ball in the wrong place and time's running off the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, that Matt Rule should be calling the Big Ten office during the game. That's how bad the officiating crew was. Where's the statement from the Big Ten saying, oh, by the way, this officiating crew has been suspended for a week?
I think that would be totally justified.
Because they were awful during this game.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. On this targeting call, obviously they've rescinded it. In the game, I thought it was the right call. I got ripped on Twitter for that. I don't know. When you were watching it, what did you think of that when you first saw it? I mean, to me, it looked like you loaded up, you hit him in the head with your shoulder, you went high, you didn't have to do that. But by frame looking at it, they determined it wasn't targeting. For whatever reason, I guess you could make the argument maybe the hit was targeting, except he's not defenseless because they also ruled he had a fumble. So if you've established that you have That's the part I don't know about.
Maybe because you've established you have possession.
Yeah, I'd love to know why they said it wasn't targeting.
Well, I'm sure there was an explanation. My point is the Big Ten has now admitted that their officiating crew, for whatever reason, got it wrong.
Yeah.
So why is there no discipline for the officiating crew that also botched the first half of that game in our favor?
Yeah. I totally agree that if the Big Ten comes in later and has to clean up your mess as officials, then they should also say, and by the way, those officials who made that mess, who are grown adults who are paid to do this, yeah, they don't get the plum assignments. They have to sit out a week, something like that.
I'm not saying we send them to a North Korean prison.
Right.
But what's wrong with holding people accountable who aren't doing their jobs properly? Did you talk about the umpire rankings last week?
Yes, we did. It's a joke, right?
I don't understand. Look, Major League Baseball has all this technology to judge their umpires. We know who ranks as the best umpire, second best, third best, fourth best in Major League Baseball consistently for 162 games. Instead, what do? They take guys who are in the 50s and 60s and 70s in rankings and assign them to the World Series. Why?
Didn't make any sense to me. And some of those guys, it's like, well, maybe they just have more experience. No, a few of them were ranked in the 60s or 50s, and it was their first World Series. So you got a guy who's not good at his job, who's now going to be a ball of nerves out there calling the World Series games. These are the types of things that I don't understand, you don't understand, but it's how the world works, apparently, when it comes to officials, and we can't have accountability for that, Mike.
Right.
I don't understand why there can't be transparency with it.
Right, we have transparency, we have accountability in every other aspect of life. When it comes to officiating, oh, my God.
No.
How dare you want accountability?
Well, because their jobs are so difficult. Unlike playing football, coaching football, any of the other places that we hold people accountable for doing the job there, officials' jobs are so difficult, we can't have any accountability with them.
The fight scene from Anchorman, when all the different TV crews get in a rumble.
Right.
And what's his name kills someone with a trident?
Brick?
Yes.
I think it's Brick. I saw
Steve
that.
Carell.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're probably wanted for murder. Everyone quotes this movie all the time. Most of the time it's wrong.
Yeah.
However, I did see that for the Buckeyes in Penn State and State College, it's Big Nooner on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all the Fox guys there. They're going to be setting up doing their show. So you got Urban and Brady Quinn.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Mark Ingram is there. Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
They're all going to be there doing their pregame show. And Game Day is going to be there too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Herbie and McAfee. I'm saying that's must-see TV.
Let's have a rumble.
Let's have a fight.
What if one of them just walked onto the other one's set, just like midway through, like a little NWO style, kind of just showed up unannounced on WCW broadcasting? Just do that.
Well, here's my question, though, and I want you to take the break and then think about it. If I told you one of the guys from either one of the shows would murder someone else during the fight, like Brick murdered during the fight in Anchorman.
I have my answer already.
I have my answer, too, but I think my answer is going to surprise you.
Okay.
Which member of Fox Big Nooner or College Game Day will kill someone? We'll discuss coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got some slower traffic if you're traveling on eastbound 70 on the east side from Hamilton Road to 270. And you're going to hit a 5-minute delay if you need to use westbound 161 from Johnstown Road to Hamilton Road. This report is sponsored by AAA Car Care Plus. Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save up to $180 on select sets of 4 Redestein tires. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid November 1st through November 30th. See store for details. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated, because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or Or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. We're dealing.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If your fall is anything like the people in my neighborhood, your weekends are full of driving kids to endless soccer things. So if you're going to be on the road, be as comfortable as possible. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend a new Lexus. That's not true, but I recommend it. Deal time, 2.99% finance rate on a 2024 RX. That's madness. 4.49% finance rate for a 2025 NX. And you can get up to $5,000 lease cash for a 2024 RX. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Objects in radio may be dumber than they appear. This is Man and Bone.
Common Man and T-Bone brought to you by the Hinderer Motor Company. It is Yikes Monday. And Jason's B. Live from Yankee Stadium at 5:34. World Series tonight. Shifts to Yankee Stadium. Dodgers up 2-0. So we got game day is going to be in State College for Buckeyes and Penn State. Also, Fox Big Nooner will be in State College. You have dueling college football pregame shows.
Yeah.
Both with big egos. You have Urban on one side. He's won himself some national championships, right?
Yeah.
Got Coach Saban on the other side.
Yes.
McAfee. Herbie?
Oh, yeah.
Corso?
Ben the dog?
Ben? Oh, he's rabid, too.
Ben's going to be humping everything.
Don't
He's so
count
excited.
out Brady Quinn's dog, though.
Oh, yeah? Does Brady bring his dog, too?
Vicious.
Good. Let the dogs fight it out. Let's see what happens.
One of my neighbors has an English Mastiff.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, those things are just humongous.
Oh, yeah, they're giant dogs.
Humongous. But at the bus stop the other day, that lipstick was out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was... Samantha pointed at it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, it's just...
That's where he keeps his lipstick, honey.
Part of being a dog.
Yep.
That's all it is. Just a dog being a dog.
It was red and disturbing. Anyway, what would happen if these two crews got into a fight, Anchorman style? Now, in Anchorman, Steve Carell's character, Brick, killed a man.
Right.
He'd be the last person you'd expect that would murder someone in the fight if you just watched his character.
Sure.
Who is the person either on Fox's Big Nooner set or ESPN College Game Day that you think would commit murder in a big rumble? I have my answer.
See, I wasn't going with least expected there because, I mean, in my world, it's like someone tries to cross Nick Saban. It would take a lot to push him, but I feel like once Nick Saban gets pushed past a certain point, there's no coming back. And two go in, only one comes out kind of situation. Like I could see him being that type of guy where he's still in shape. He could get it done if he had to.
I think Corso would murder people. No one would expect him. It's like, hey, old man, just sit this one out. And he's off to the side wearing his Buckeye hat.
Sure.
Not hat. The Brutus hat.
Brutus head. Yeah, he's wearing the Brutus head.
He's going to pick the Buckeyes. Of course he is. So he's wearing his Brutus head. And then during the fight, no one's fighting with him. Like, well, I'll leave the old man alone.
Right.
He takes a Civil War style revolver out of the Brutus head and just starts firing and killing people.
I could see that. That would be unexpected. That would be very Brick-like, to your point. That's actually now.
And then Herbie has the conversation with him. Coach, you may want to lay low.
Are you kidding?
You may be wanted for murder.
Herbie would yell at people on Twitter like, how dare you criticize Lee Corso? He's an American institution. I love Lee Corso. It's like, yeah, Herbie, but he murdered 3 people. It's like, so? They had it coming to him.
Yeah.
See my dog? My dog loves him. So he can't, you know what? I think Herbie would even go to the bat of, he didn't murder. You missaw that. You're wrong. That didn't happen.
How about Urban on the field? They're celebrating the 2014 team, right?
Yeah.
They lift him up.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing my mind goes to is, oh, somebody's got their fingers up his crack.
That's
the first thing that I thought of.
My, how the tables turn. You know?
I wonder if somebody really stuck that thumb in.
Someday, you're the one. You know what? Never mind. I think you got it. I think everybody got what I'm saying. That's good.
I painted the picture for you.
That's fine.
Buckeyes and Penn State. Buckeyes open as a 3.5-point favorite. Drew Aller sidelined by a knee injury. I have no idea what the status for him is.
And he didn't play all of the second half, right, for Penn State. They came back. They were losing Wisconsin when he went out.
Right.
And then the backup guy, whose name I'm blanking on, he came in and they helped them win the game. So that was a nice victory.
Who's the backup guy?
Starts with a P. Last name I want to say.
Like Pribula?
Pribula. That's right.
Man, I broke my Pribula.
Somebody had, well, again, I was going back to the Urban comment.
I had a rash until I took my Pribula. And now.
Talk to your doctor about Pribula. It really does sound like a type of thing you would have for like a disease that no one wants to discuss. Where
Pribula.
It's like, do you have anal warts? Pribula. But they just have like people wearing like capris walking through a market and it's very flowery. And then meanwhile, you're talking about that situation.
Pribula completed 11 of 13 pass attempts for 98 yards, 1 touchdown, ran for 28 yards on 6 attempts in his relief effort. That's pretty good. Who was the backup that James Franklin threw out there a couple years ago that could not complete a forward pass?
Oh,
remember that?
Wait, was that not Drew Aller? It wasn't Drew Aller. Didn't he have? I thought he had a moment where he came out and he just wasn't ready for prime time.
There was one guy who, like, he goes out there and looks like deer in the headlights. Think Keenholz, how he looked when he came in to that Cotton Bowl.
God, now I'm blanking on this because I know what you're talking about, but I cannot remember who that was playing at that time. If it wasn't what I was thinking there, I feel like it was one of their. I mean, yeah, because that was before.
I don't know. You know,
that wasn't kicking the sacky Christian Hackey.
I'm sorry,
it wasn't
I said anything.
You should be.
Who was Teddy? Who was it? Do you know?
No,
who was
Teddy,
the starting quarterback that went out?
I don't know. He was like a third string guy, and the other guys were hurt, and he came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he couldn't throw at all.
All right. Buckeyes, Penn State. We'll get you ready. We'll keep you updated on Drew Aller all week long. Don't change the channel, idiots. Browns and Jameis. What a story. We'll talk about that. Bengals lose. The rest of the NFL. That's all in the 4 o'clock hour. Coming up next. Cowan, Man, and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to find traffic is moving a little slow on westbound 670 between 71 and 3rd Street. And we've got a 5-minute delay on northbound 71 on the north side between 670 and 11th Avenue. And you're looking at some residual traffic due to an earlier accident on southbound 71, approaching 270 on the North Outer Belt. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Your small business can save big with the SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com. That's 844-MEDOhio.com. Anthem's SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
Hey, it's Anthony. If you want to make the best deal in town on a new Honda, make sure you visit my friends at your main Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And Rich tells me you're going to get 1.90% APR up to 60 months on most new 24s and 25 Hondas. They'll give you the details. Of course, you'll get same-day service, no appointment needed. And how about an extra $1,000 for your trade if you have a 2014 or newer vehicle? All with the great people at your main Honda of Dublin.
We all know Central Ohio is growing fast. It's making traffic worse and life more expensive. That's why voting yes on Issue 47 is so important. Issue 47 will help folks get to work faster and cheaper by creating Coda Rapid Bus Service. That means more routes, better hours, and more reliable service. That will expand access to transportation for everyone in our community, from the elderly to the disabled, to veterans and students. And Issue 47 will make our neighborhoods safer and more walkable by building 500 miles of sidewalks, trails, and bikeways. When we pass Issue 47, we'll get $1 billion in matching funds from the federal government to pay for it. We're already sending our tax dollars to D.C. Let's bring some of that money home to help our community. Issue 47 means safer neighborhoods and a better quality of life for our families. It's an easy call. Vote yes on Issue 47. Paid for by moving Central Ohio forward.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Richardson Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Richardson Associates. Attorneys who care.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and we all know consistency is key in sports. Think about it. No matter how many points you put up in one game, it's the team that stays consistent that ends up winning a championship. The problem? Consistency is hard. For years, that's how I felt about my weight. I'd start strong, but could never stay the course. Then I found Awaken 180 weight loss, and now consistency isn't just a word, it's my reality. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. After dropping 12 pounds in my first week, I went on to lose 52 pounds total. Lost weight every week. Since then, the scoreboard has read the same every single month. October, 189 pounds. September, 189 pounds. August, 190. Okay, maybe a pound off. July, yeah, 189. The weight just stays off, and for free. Awaken 180 clients don't pay a dime in free maintenance for life. It's like free oil changes for the rest of your life. If you're looking for results that last, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. It's online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Ohio State appealed the targeting call against linebacker Arvell Reese on Saturday against Nebraska, and after the NCAA determined the call was incorrect, Reese will not have any carryover punishment and is clear to play the whole Penn State game next weekend. Monday Night Football in the NFL. New York Giants in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Giants 2-5. Steelers are 5-2. Columbus Blue Jackets at home with Edmonton tonight. That's a 7 o'clock face-off right here on the Fan. This begins a stretch of 4 games in 6 days for the Jackets. Game 3 of the World Series tonight. The L.A. Dodgers take a 2-0 lead into New York to face the Yankees. This update brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $300 cash bonus when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only thing better than watching football is talking about it. So we invented Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Highly medicated, barely educated. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday, Reaction Monday. You know, Bone and I do all our banging.
Yeah.
At Hollywood Casino Columbus, specifically the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. And we're going to be doing our banging and the show live there Friday from 3 to 6 as the Buckeyes get ready to play Penn State. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say that in the marketing.
Since we'll be there a day before the local college football team that you're not aware of plays the team from the Valley that's happy.
So come on out and see us if you want to hear us talk about that game.
That'll make your Valley happy when you see us at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Do a little yodeling in the canyon. That's what I like to do.
Float your boat.
Mm-hmm. So go there Friday and any other time that you want a good time. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. We talked about the Buckeyes in the first hour of the show. We will circle back and talk more about that. Big matchup with Penn State coming up on Saturday. NFL from yesterday. Brownies. Jameis. Ravens. How many more things can I just say?
Football.
That's so Raven.
Yeah.
All of it. Jameis Winston comes out, throws, 334, 3 touchdowns, my guy.
Well, I thought for sure that I'm watching this game. I was actually out at Pastimes in New Albany. Shout out to them. Great spot to watch a game. We were out there with Bud Light, had a good time, and a lot of Browns fans there. And as this game is winding down, I am seeing Lamar Jackson getting the ball with time on the clock and thinking, uh-oh, he's going to do it to us. And sure enough,
don't worry about it.
They drove down the field and scored and took the lead. And I thought, yeah, that sounds about right. But then I looked at the clock and I said, you know what? They do have a couple minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
you underestimated.
Maybe they left enough time for Jameis Winston to work his magic. And what in my head actually popped in was I thought, because if I'm not mistaken at that point, it was only a 3-point game or 2-point game. I think the Ravens took the lead. So I thought, all right, if nothing else, maybe they could drive down, kick the field goal. Yeah, that would be good. I would take that. Win by kicking the field goal. Or then my thoughts got to, we're going to drive down there, get real close, not close enough, doink the field goal, lose in heartbreaking fashion.
I thought it was Doink the Clown.
What? Him too.
All right.
He was not there. But instead, they went down the field and actually looked like a competent offense in the fourth quarter. Jameis Winston making throws, the offense making plays, giving him time to throw, all that stuff. And they score the touchdown. And then a minute left for Lamar. And I thought, please don't do this. Don't do this to me. And thankfully, it didn't happen. Thankfully, Lamar couldn't get it done. They couldn't find anything.
Right, listen to me.
People dropping balls, dropping interceptions. It all worked out for the Browns yesterday, buddy.
Now, last year, you and I got wrapped up. You're the Brownie fan. I just like the story.
Yeah.
With Flacco, my Cracko.
Flacco, my Cracko.
So as I'm watching this display yesterday, I'm thinking to myself, we need some sort of rallying cry for
rallying
Jameis Winston.
Cry for Jameis.
Here's what I was workshopping.
I don't know
yesterday.
that this is worth workshopping on the air, but go right ahead because I kind of feel like I already know where this could go.
You do? What do you think it's going to be?
Rhymes with Jameis?
Well, it's actually not that. I was doing something off of Winston.
Oh, thank God.
No, what's the thing that rhymes with Jameis?
Oh, it's very close to Flacco My Cracker, but it's a little
Anus?
more on the...
Is that what you're thinking?
I was hoping you weren't. I don't know where you're going.
Flacco My Cracko.
Listen. Now picture this.
Uh-huh.
Wanky My Winston.
Flacco My Cracko.
How does that even rhyme?
Wanky My Winston.
That's weak.
No? All right. Well,
No.
I got to come up with something.
I don't know that Wanky My Winston makes any sense.
I do kind of like Jameis My Anus.
No, I don't.
Flacco My Cracko.
Ted, how did he reverse Jedi mind trick me into doing that? I thought that's for sure where you were going. How am I the one coming up with that?
Let's workshop something. All right, because we need something for Jameis. I did like his pregame where it's all about God and Jesus and all that.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and wins the game, and then it's all about quoting Eminem. God,
Right.
Jesus, Slim Shady.
And before the game, it's the Lord's Prayer. After the game, it's Mom's Spaghetti. Let's get ready.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Hey, man.
What I like is it's none of his actual words, because when he says his actual words, he pisses everybody off.
Right. You know what?
By
Good.
blaming the fans.
Him and Myles Garrett should do that. Stop
Right.
talking about the model citizen.
I think that's honestly what I thought. Did you even see the pregame? The Browns, somebody posted, I think the NFL account or maybe the Browns account, they had the camera in the tunnel before they go out, and he's giving his little pep talk, maybe to the offensive line, maybe to the receivers. I didn't quite see who it was, but he was talking. He's like, hey, men, when we go out there, we're playing for those names on the back of our shirts. We're also playing for the name on our helmets, because sometimes they have like a name on the helmet, like a decal for someone they're paying tribute to. And then he said, well, we don't have any names on our helmets, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Go get him. Let's go.
It's like, right. I mean, he's very relatable in the fact that he constantly puts his foot in his mouth. Doesn't make any sense. I can relate to that totally.
Maybe something with crab legs, involving crab legs and Jameis.
Yeah. I like, you know what?
We have a few suggestions on
What do we have? What do we
our
have?
YouTube chat if you want to check that out.
Well, are you going to read them to us?
Oh, the Hubert Centipede, he has Jingle My Jameis.
Jingle My Jameis.
Flacco My Cracko.
Jingle My Jameis isn't bad.
I don't know if I like that.
Amish has Crabbing with Winston. I kind of like that. That's good. That references things.
There's another one that's popular, but I don't want to say that one.
Is it Winning with Winston? Is it that one?
It's something with Winston.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think we can do that one.
I almost got fired for that one time.
Did you really?
What is it? No, I got to see.
Charles Barkley dropped that on the air one time.
That's terrible.
If you had to do a number one, Mike, and you weren't missing, but maybe you were something in the breeze, not whizzing.
Hey, that could be it.
Whizzing is good. Whizzing with Winston, that's better than this one.
Whizzing with Winston. That's
Whizzing
what I was
with
thinking.
Winston, okay.
How about smoking my Winston?
Yes.
Oh yeah, smoking Winston's. I mean, again, I don't know if that gets us in trouble because, like, we're not actually talking about the cigarette brand, but that is his last name.
This is a challenge.
I
Nothing's
know.
going to beat Flacco My Cracko.
Nothing will.
All right,
You
nothing
can't.
will.
Flacco is its own. That was its own beast right there. But Jameis Winston has. I'll tell you this: people, may have forgotten. This is a man who I think has thrown like at least once, maybe multiple times, over 4,000 yards in an NFL season.
I think he did it twice.
Yeah. Like, this is a guy who can actually play quarterback. Not that you should build your franchise around him. Not that he is your answer. But maybe he can be like, I don't know, a poor man's version of a Kirk Cousins type or something like that. Maybe he's a guy who can go out there and win you a few games. I don't know. I think he's a better option than most the options that were out there. Let's go.
Excited.
Also, I mean, again,
I'm on the bandwagon.
He threw a pick and it got dropped. All right? Like, we should be clear.
What? Stop it.
Well,
you beat the Ravens. You had Lamar slamming his helmet on the field in frustration. You did that, Bone. Your team did that.
How about this? And I want to say, I mean, obviously we lost a legend this weekend. Jim Donovan, voice of the Browns for many, many years, passed away. That is obviously very sad. One of the things that struck me about all that, because I heard Bo Bishop this morning. I thought he made a great point about this on Bishop and Friends. You should listen every day, 9 to noon, right here on The Fan. But Bo Bishop, because I didn't grow up in Cleveland. I didn't live up there. He is very aware of the Cleveland media scene up there, Bo is. And he brought this up. He said, imagine if Dom Taberry was also the voice of the Buckeyes. That's what Jim Donovan was to millions of people, Northeast Ohio. That's the pull he had because he was the local TV news guy, sports guy, and also called the biggest games, or the Browns. But still, that was the team. So what I was struck by was this, Mike, and obviously our thoughts are with the family. I saw Kevin Stefanski right after the game said, we wanted this game because we wanted to give this game ball to the family of Jim Donovan. Mm-hmm. And then like an hour later, I see the Browns tweet out a photo of him with his wife and daughter. Andrew Berry was there too. And it was just a touching moment, right, to see them deliver that and do that whole thing for Jim Donovan. But I also noticed that, like, Kevin Stefanski was just wearing what he wore on the sidelines because it dawns on me, like, that's how important this was to him. He wasn't like, I got to change, I got to shower, I'm going to run home, we'll do this tomorrow. This was like, got done from the game, took the ball, put it in his passenger seat of his car, drove right over to their house, took this over and said, here you go, this is for you. Like, first order of business right after the game. So very cool gesture by him and the Browns.
Now that you said picture Dom Taberry as the voice of the Buckeyes, I can't not picture it. We should actually do that. We should go back and make a bit. We know how the iconic moments sound when Paul Keels calls them because we have them. We replay them. We enjoy them. But what if we subbed out Paul, put in Dom? How would Dom call those moments?
I think that would be quite interesting.
How about the targeting call against Avril Reese?
And Avril Lavigne, my guy. Arvel Reese?
Arvel Reese, that's right.
He's just a skater boy.
Called him Avril. Hey,
Avril Reese, skater boy, my guy.
Skater boy. Knocked him out for the target. I don't know what a targeting is. What's targeting?
Could you imagine Dom on the air? He would fight somebody over that. He would have been like on there like, hey, I'm going down there. I'm going to show those refs what's up. I know someone.
Hey, David in the chat. No, it's Paul in the chat. Winston, my piston. No?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're really stuck on Winston, which is fine.
Wiggle my Winston.
I mean, Smoking Winston is kind of, at least the one I've gone with. I kind of like that one.
Smoke a Winston. Winston smokes you. I don't know. Anyway, Bengals. Bengals lose to the Eagles yesterday. Zach Taylor, by the way, for all the success this team has had, I mean, obviously they went to a Super Bowl. So in Zach Taylor's tenure, he is now officially at home under 500. Think about that for a second.
That's incredible.
I want to say he's 22-23 at Paul Brown.
Right. Doesn't help when you've had Joe Burrow get hurt, right? That plays into it. But you're right. For a guy who's
home.
Yes, you're right. That is not a good look for them. And I know that this Eagles team is good, but I thought the Bengals would have put up a little bit more of a fight than that.
Good. Stop it.
No.
Offense has been inconsistent. The Eagles' offense has been inconsistent all season long. They're getting booed on their home field because they're not taking care of the Browns.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what?
And they had no problem moving the football against that Bengal defense. Joe Burrow says he's very confident they can go and win 7 of their next 10 and make the playoffs. And he has to be. It's his job. But defensively, what makes you think they can stop anybody?
Oh, I have no faith in them right now. The only way you could see maybe something changing is if they went out and made some moves to trade some draft capital and go get a couple players to help you out. The reality is the Bengals are going to have to be a top 5 scoring offense the rest of the way out if they have any hope of finishing 500. Not being a Super Bowl contender at all. I'm saying to have a chance of making the playoffs, being 500 or slightly better than that, your team's going to have to score 30-plus points a game. You have to be a top 5 scoring offense. While they are capable of that, I don't know that that's going to be the formula. You've got to get something from this defense, and right now they're getting nothing.
How about Evan has this? His namus is Jameis.
Okay.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah, his namus is Jameis.
I'm trying to picture big voice guys saying it too, which I'm going to have him do.
What about famous Jameis? Bronco has that. Famous Jameis.
Famous.
Yeah, again, we're trying to replicate the success of Flacco My Cracko, and there's just no way to do that.
Flacco My Cracko.
It's too good.
I know a lot of you reached out to me last night to check and see if I did, in fact, kill myself watching that Bears-Commanders game. We'll discuss coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got stop-and-go traffic that's causing a 5-minute delay on westbound 70 downtown between the 71 east and west split, and there's slower traffic on southbound 71 on the north side between 670 and I-70. This report is sponsored by Norton 360. Outsmart cyber criminals this October with Norton 360. For Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Norton 360 offers a software updater feature to reduce vulnerabilities. Get comprehensive protection and up to 58% off your first year at norton.com/secure. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Check out this sale on red, green, or black seedless grapes. Right now, they're just 99 cents a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
A vote for Sherrod Brown is a vote against Donald Trump. Sherrod Brown has spent 31 years in Washington, D.C., backing radical liberal policies.
Late-term partial birth abortion, where the baby is partially delivered alive. Trans biological men in girls' sports and bathrooms. Puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for children. Amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants.
Brown's liberal policies are the opposite of the Trump agenda, and Brown would oppose Trump at every turn. To undo the damage of the last 4 years, President Trump and Ohio need Republican Bernie Moreno in the Senate. 6 more years of Sherrod Brown? He's for they, them, not you. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture an oil change that's quick, not rushed. When you hear the bell, feel yourself becoming light as a feather. Now, let go of your oil change-anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today. No automotive worry, no appointment needed.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
So are you that person? The one who's been buying over-the-counter insoles just to make whatever shoes you wear cushy? Yep, that was me. Hey, it's Anthony. And before I went to the Good Feet store, my back would kill me if I was on my feet for any serious amount of time. I was told about the Good Feet store's 3-step arch support system. Once I tried them in my shoes, I instantly felt more supported, and honestly, my feet felt aligned perfectly for the first time in forever. And they're fit to me personally. And it's not just comfort. My Good Feet store arch supports are designed to balance and strengthen my feet. They've made such a difference in my life. The Good Feet store has helped many people relieve their pain, obviously me included. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Bring in your favorite shoes to the Good Feet store, and they'll personally fit you to ensure your comfort. Go ahead. Take a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or goodfeet.com.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Low energy, brain fog, or bloating? Your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Some sunshine, light winds, and a mild start on this Monday. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Overnight, we'll keep it mild in the mid 50s with mostly cloudy skies to start off your Tuesday. Back to near 80 degrees, near record warmth expected. We'll see plenty of sunshine, but a bit windy by Tuesday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
The kings of local social media.
Twitters and twatters.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. It is also Yikes Monday. That's coming up at 4:34. Jason's Beef. At 5:34, the Hall of Famer will join us live from Yankee Stadium, where the World Series will be shifting tonight. You and I were talking about the ratings, right?
Yeah.
And I want to say Game 2 in the U.S. had a very nice rating. I think it was 13.5 million.
That's really good for a World Series game.
Right. I mean, look, we're not going to compare it to a NFL playoff game because it's not at that level anymore. I get that.
No.
But it's still a good number. In Japan, I would like to point something out to you. These games are not necessarily airing in prime time in Japan. Think about the time difference, okay? In Japan, they drew over 15 million people for this game. Here, United States, American pastime, 13.5 million. Japan, that has about, 200 million people less living in that country?
123 million people is their that's how many people live there. We have over 330 million people living here. So
okay,
yes,
so somewhere around there.
200 million less than here.
And I'm not going to say, "Way Americans, get it right." I'm saying, Japan, way to go.
Way to go.
Way to go, Japan.
Well, and obviously Shohei Ohtani is such a big star there. We know that he is. I saw somebody who posted they went to Japan to kind of like cover. It was like an American journalist who was sent over there to cover the reaction, to him from the Japanese media and Japanese fans and all that. And they got off the airport, got off the airplane in the airport. They got on an escalator, and like the first ad they saw, the first billboard thing they saw in the airport was him hawking a fragrance. And it's just everything out there is obviously he is the most popular athlete in that country. Doesn't surprise me that you would get a fan base that would stay up, to all hours of the night or middle of the day, whatever time it is.
Like late morning the next day, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're getting people who, especially if it's on a weekend, at least maybe you have an opportunity to watch some of this, but still 15.9 million people in a country that is not as large as the U.S., that is just an absurd amount of people watching that game.
What time is it in Japan?
It would be in the morning. So
yeah, right now in Japan it's 5:23.
That's more than 10% of their that's more than 10% of their country was watching that one thing. You know what I mean?
In the morning, in the late morning.
In the morning. Like
it would have been like 9 a.m. to them.
That is the equivalent of us. That's like, again, we have NFL games that get like a 30 million plus, but you know when they usually are? Thanksgiving. They're, AFC, NFC championship games. That's the type of stuff that gets those kind of numbers when people are like taking a day off just to watch one football game.
If my grandfather was here and he heard me say that, God bless the Japanese.
Well, times change.
Times change a lot.
When you're fighting a war,
it's 80 years.
Obviously it's different. Yeah.
What was I going to say to you? I had something to say.
I don't know.
Oh, we're going to talk about my stupid team.
Oh, yeah, your Bears.
So Bears and Commanders, shockingly, both these teams are, on paper, good. One team I think could actually be good, the Commanders. But sloppy as hell, Bears come back. They get a lead in that game. You know what happens. You've seen it. Hail Mary. I've had a lot of people ask me, what was your reaction? Okay? I got texts from every Bears fan that I know. And the reaction ranged from, like, laughing, crying emoji.
Yeah.
To just the longest F word you've ever seen typed out on a screen. Like, I've never seen so many U's and K's, and it was ridiculous.
It was all over the place.
It was all over the place, right? When it happened, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, my first instinct was to laugh. I laughed.
Sure.
Of course. Of course that's how you end the... Of course. And then you watch the replays, and they show what's-his-face out there taunting the fans.
Oh, Tariq Stevenson?
Right, during the play... Like, of course this is how it ends.
Well, and not only that, he's taunting the fans, and then he runs back into the play, and it wasn't as if, like, oh, if he'd been in position.
No,
maybe,
he's the one that tipped it.
He got to the ball. He got all the way back in there and tipped the ball, and then serendipitous, random coincidence, Noah Brown, former Buckeye, is the one who caught it. If you told me, like, a Commander's wide receiver is going to catch that, might have, before the game, you might have thought Terry McLaurin. No. Noah Brown, different
How
former
is Noah
Buckeye.
Brown just standing there, too?
Wide open. Everybody's jumping at the 2-yard line.
Right, the ball didn't even make the goal line.
It doesn't have to. Like, you don't have to do anything. Let someone catch it and tackle them. Game over. Don't let them get into the end zone, obviously, but you could have just let someone come down with the ball and everyone standing their feet on the goal line and just hit the guy. Done.
No, that was my reaction. Laughter.
Well, I can't say that I blame you. That was it was comical. I mean, it was, unless you're a diehard Bears fan, which I know you are, but you're like a lot of Bears fans, I'm quite sure, and a lot of Browns fans, a lot of fans of NFL teams.
Well, probably like a lot of Commander fans.
Yeah.
This franchise recently, you got both franchises, both fan bases watching this game saying, who's the bad thing going to happen to?
Right. Well, that's what I told you with the Browns. I thought, well, for sure, there's no way that game was going to end with Lamar Jackson not just breaking their souls.
Well, what's his name dropped the interception, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What's his name? This is the whole show for me.
What's his
name's running, taunting on the Hail Mary. What's his name dropped the pass.
Yes.
The interception for the Ravens.
Kyle Hamilton.
That's right, him. What's his name?
It's like who's on first, but not funny. I know you love who's on first.
Shouldn't you guys know?
Yeah, we should.
We should. We don't.
Sorry.
I were watching a lot of these games. I don't memorize people's names. I don't remember people who work in this building. What their names are. It's why I call them Champ and Sport and Slugger.
Yeah.
Man, Common Man likes me. He gave me a nickname. No, I don't remember your name.
Yeah, it takes a while for you to learn the name. That's why the nicknames come first. Everything else is later. Look, the reality is when you've been a fan of a team that has disappointed you for so long, I'm more like you when it comes to that. If my team loses, I don't throw a fit and bust my TV and scream at everyone. I just go, of course. Like when it's the Browns, I'm used to it. What are you going to do? When you're as a Bears fan, we did this. Remember years ago we compared all the terrible quarterbacks? We did the Bengals, the Browns, and the Bears, and Bears and Browns far and away surpassed the Bengals. Bengals were like, they look like a model franchise compared to those two. But when I'm sure Lions fans up until the last few years, right? When they would see their team lose a stupid game, most of them probably just like, of course. Well, that's how we lost
in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
You know, people are harassing Dan Campbell at his house because he's going for it on fourth down. It's not working out for him. Of course.
Right.
Works out in the regular season, but now it's the postseason, caveman.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, it's at some point you just have to, there's a protective layer that forms around you of saying, if I don't laugh at this stuff, I'm going to be miserable. So you have to find a way to find some humor in it.
That's like this show.
Exactly.
I'm going to be miserable if I take him seriously. That's why I love to listen to what's his name on the Fan.
Yeah.
Yikes is next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should watch for an accident that's blocking the left lane on southbound 71. On the south side, after Greenlawn Avenue, emergency crews are on scene causing holdup. And we've got a 5-minute delay on westbound 670 between 71 and 315. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Restrictions apply. See Pro Desk for details. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to terms. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Get all
your holiday shopping done in just one stop with early holiday deals at Meijer. Save big this week on gifts for everyone. For the competitive ones on your list, select puzzles and board games are buy two, get one free. Share the sense of the season with Yankee Candle products. Buy one, get one for $1. And for those who believe that bigger is always better, save $200 on an Element 65-inch Zumo TV. Shop even more great gift ideas like these in the Meijer Holiday Gift Guide. Available on Meijer.com, in-store, or in the Meijer app. Exclusions apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Remember that day I invented the everything bagel? That was a heck of a day, Jerry. I was right there in line.
Get Eco.
I saw the onion bagel and the poppy seed bagel and the sesame bagel, and I thought, imagine if one bagel could give you everything you need. You changed the world that day, Jerry.
Get Eco.
I think Eco is just like that for homeowners in Ohio. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians. One company, one call, everything you need.
Get Eco.
Eco is a complete ecosystem of home services all under one roof. Ooh, that is a good one. Big things, small things, projects that require a little of this and that. Eco has the whole ecosystem equally covered.
Get Eco.
What if one day someone comes up with a new thing you can put on a bagel? Well, I've already patented everything, Aaron. Nobody can claim everything plus one. You're a wise man, Jerry. I'm making a fortune, Aaron.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change-anxiety. And breathe in automotive peace. Visit us today.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Some fans drink the Kool-Aid. These guys drink the bleach. This is Man and Bone.
Let me talk to you about my friends at Tri-State Men's Health. Maybe you watched the end of that Bears game. Maybe you're a Bears fan like me. And you watch Jayden Daniels throw a Hail Mary. It's tipped, and then Noah Brown's right there to catch it. Your team loses. Maybe later that night, your wife winks at you. It's time. And you'd love to have that time, but your pee-pee doesn't work anymore. For various reasons. Because ED is just not when you watch the Bears. It typically is for me.
Again, if that were the cause, then there would be a real simple fix. You wouldn't need any other help. You would just not watch the Bears. But since that's not how it works, you may need additional assistance.
But ED is real. I want you to see my friends at Tri-State Men's Health. They have treatments that work when the pills or herbals or the Bears fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Schedule a consult with Tri-State Men's Health today. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having hibbity-bibbity time the day after your appointment. Call them today. 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com. Time for Yikes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Jameis Winston had a hell of a Browns debut start yesterday, throwing for 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. More importantly, the Browns beat the Ravens. Yay. He is now one of 3 Browns quarterbacks in the past 3 seasons to reach the 300-yard passing mark in a game. He's done it once. Flacco Mike Cracko did it 4 times last season. And the other name? Model citizen Deshaun Watson? No, it's Jacoby Brissett. He did it once. Yikes. Flacco had 5 starts with the Browns, threw for more than 300 yards in 4 of them. Jacoby Brissett started 11 games, had 300 yards in 1 of them. Deshaun Watson started 19 games for the Brownies, never accomplished the feat. Yikes. Someone brought up Steven Strasburg as the worst contract ever. $245 million. He won 1 game with the Nationals after he signed that deal. That's a big yikes right there. But Deshaun's is worse. First, as bad as the Strasburg deal was, there's no cap to deal with in baseball. Second, the season before the extension, Strasburg helps you win the World Series. Deshaun, not so much. Yikes.
This one's going to be short and sweet. Lincoln Riley's USC Trojans, they defeated Rutgers over the weekend, improving their record to 4-4. Yikes. That is with the win. That's still bad. Hey, at least they're 500. If you're wondering, Lincoln Riley's buyout, should USC decide maybe it's time to move on from him, good luck. It's $90 million you still owe him because you signed into a 10-year, $110 million contract, and that thing's still in effect. Good luck, USC. Yikes.
Didn't boosters buy him a house, too? Like, do they repo the house if he gets fired?
Yeah,
Is
maybe
name?
some of that cost is baked into the fact that they also bought him a house. But, yeah, I would think so. There's a lot of questions being asked, for sure.
The San Jose Sharks, they have made some NHL history in the worst way. They have lost their first 9 games of the season. Yikes. That's not the history-making part, though. The NHL history is that they did this last year as well. They lost the first 9 games last year, so they're the first team to ever do that in back-to-back seasons. Yikes. Now, last year, they actually lost their first 11 games, so they could tie that mark if they lose. They play tonight and tomorrow night. Yikes.
You can call that yikes. I call that consistency. I mean, where else do you see that in sports? That's very consistent.
Commanders beat the Bears on a last-second Hail Mary yesterday. Since 2006, we've seen 5 of these things in the NFL with less than 10 seconds to play. Jayden Daniels to Noah Brown yesterday. Kyler Murray to DeAndre Hopkins in 2020. Yikes. Aaron Rodgers to Richard Rodgers in 2015. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're the only 2 with the same last name to do it. Yikes.
I'd say so.
In 2012, it was Russell Wilson to Golden Tate. Yikes. And in 2010, who could forget David Gerard to Mike Thomas? Not our Mike Thomas, another guy named Mike Thomas. Yikes.
NASCAR had one of its final races of the season in Homestead, Miami yesterday. Tyler Reddick won the race with a brilliant pass in the final lap. However, all day long in the highest part of the grandstand, the spotters had to deal with something that no one should have to deal with at their job. Spotters, by the way, are the people who are the eyes above the track. They watch out for the drivers. They talk to them on the radio and say, hey, there's a guy right next to you. Don't move up. You got to wait for him. It helps them avoid accidents and know when to make a pass. But those spotters were all beset by thousands of bees buzzing around them for the duration of the race You look up videos of this, it may give you nightmares. Seems like a terrible day at the office. Yikes.
It's like that scene in Tommy Boy, right?
Yes. Bad. You don't want any part of that.
Bees! All right. We all know that the Jets and Giants, they've been really bad this season. They struggle to score touchdowns at home. They have played 7 games this season at MetLife Stadium, and they've combined for just 6 touchdowns. Yikes. Now, Notre Dame, they played Navy on Saturday at MetLife Stadium. They scored 7 touchdowns in that game. Yikes. So they scored more touchdowns in that one game than the Jets and Giants have combined for at MetLife Stadium all season long. Yikes.
I thought Navy had a shot to win that game going into it.
Same, buddy.
They made a ton of mistakes
you can't
early
fumble
in that
the
game.
ball as much as they did in that one.
All right, anyway. It was quite a day. Here's a positive yikes for you. It was quite a day for former Buckeye receivers yesterday. Noah Brown caught the Hail Mary to beat the Bears. Terry McLaurin caught 5 for 125. Marvin Harrison Jr. with another easy 111-yard day with a touchdown. Chris Olave had over 100 for the Saints. Garrett Wilson went over 100 for the Jets. And Jackson Smith-Njigba with a lowly 69 yards for the Seahawks in their loss to the Bills. A hell of a day for Buckeye receivers. Yikes.
Last month in the WNBA, the Chicago Sky fired Teresa Weatherspoon. She had been on the job for less than 12 months. Joined the organization last November. This shocked the WNBA, but she was not alone. She also saw Los Angeles Sparks coach Kurt Miller let go 3 days before that. Massive coaching shakeup in the league between those two. Then add in, there's been 5 other coaches let go in the interim, capped off this past couple days by the Indiana Fever, that's Caitlin Clark's team, getting rid of Christy Sides as their head coach. And today, the Connecticut Sun parted ways with Stephanie White. Rumors are she may end up going back to the Fever. Anyway, that's now 7 head coaches in the WNBA who are out of a job, 7 vacancies. That's not including the newly formed team from Golden State, the Valkyries, that are going to start playing. They need to hire a coach. Yikes, that's a lot of vacancies in a league that only has 13 teams. There's 7 head coaching vacancies.
That's more than half.
That's good math. Crazy.
Daddy.
All right, now we've been a big fan of the UTSA football team here in the past, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
UTSA. All right. Now, they're my number 1 enemy. Yikes.
University of Texas, San Antonio.
Yes.
Yeah. UTSA.
They were leading 35-7 over Tulsa at halftime, 42-24 at the start of the fourth quarter. However, they somehow found a way to lose this game 46-45. Yikes. Now, why do I hate them so much?
You have some ducats on them?
Because I had an 11-team parlay that had a really nice payoff, and I lost it all because of UTSA. I hate you, UTSA! And yikes.
How many team parlay, Teddy?
11.
Oh, my God. And that's the one that got
the
you.
other 10 hit?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I hate UTSA, too.
You know what? UTSA's dead to me.
They are. They're dead.
Done forever.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say Jordan Palmer went to UTSA, but he went to UTEP, not UTSA.
UTEP. Doesn't have the same ring. No,
it doesn't. No.
But actually, you know what? UTSA, instead of being like a fun, upbeat electro music kind of dance number, now it's going to be like a funeral dirge. We're just going to UTSA. We're just going to chant it.
Or play
very
that
sad
Fox injury music, maybe.
That's right.
I was hurt.
Teddy, I bet you were down for the count after that one. Oh, my God.
Today is a sports equinox. What does that mean? I'm going to tell you. Coming up next, Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should watch out for an accident that's on southbound 71's off-ramp to I-70 on the north side. And we've got some stop-and-go traffic that's causing about a 10-minute delay on southbound 315 from Kinnear Road to I-70. And things are also slow on eastbound 70 on the east side from Livingston Avenue to 33. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $300 cash bonus when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free for more details.
So are you that person? The one who's been buying over-the-counter insoles just to make whatever shoes you wear cushy? Yep, that was me. Hey, it's Anthony. And before I went to the Good Feet store, my back would kill me if I was on my feet for any serious amount of time. I was told about the Good Feet store's 3-step arch support system. Once I tried them in my shoes, I instantly felt more supported, and honestly, my feet felt aligned perfectly for the first time in forever. And they're fit to me personally. And it's not just comfort. My Good Feet store arch supports are designed to balance and strengthen my feet. They've made such a difference in my life. The Good Feet store has helped many people relieve their pain, obviously me included. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Bring in your favorite shoes to the Good Feet store, and they'll personally fit you to ensure your comfort. Go ahead. Take a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
Breaking news. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If your fall is anything like the people in my neighborhood, your weekends are full of driving kids to endless soccer things. So if you're going to be on the road, be as comfortable as possible. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend a new Lexus. That's not true, but I recommend it. Deal time, 2.99% finance rate on a 2024 RX. That's madness. 4.49% finance rate for a 2025 NX. And you can get up to $5,000 lease cash for a 2024 RX. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
The Buckeye Show.
You can't ever be a program that means business. If Ohio State ever lost that kind of game at home, we would be laughing at them and we would never stop.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
At Diamond Cellar, we've been crafting love stories for over 77 years. Trust, quality, and always the guaranteed best price. Visit us today to experience the Diamond Cellar difference. Stop into our showroom on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One thing we keep hearing here in town, Wilson, is that the cost of Pella windows actually pleasantly surprises most people.
Pleasantly surprised?
You get the Pella next level quality and looks, but we also have 5 different lines to fit most budgets.
Our customers are almost always surprised, but it's never pleasant. Is there such thing as like angrily surprised?
Price is a little high.
Oh no, they're a lot high.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit UDriveContest.com for official rules.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Barely famous, incredibly stupid. Back to Man and Bone.
I asked this in all sincerity.
Yeah.
Has anybody done a welfare check on Mike Ditka down in Florida?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
They mentioned this on the broadcast yesterday, that 10 days ago he turned 90.
Let him live. Of course, he's 90.
90 years old. I assume he's watching the Bears. Maybe he's got the package on YouTube. I don't know.
Well, there's a package.
Somebody's got the package hooked up for him. More on that in a second. But watching that Hail Mary and then seeing the replay of one of the Bears players jawing at the crowd instead of actually, playing football during play. Like if Ditka saw that, he's probably dead today.
Yeah. Oh,
that's the thing that's going to kill him.
I don't know if he's dead, but I know
he's dead.
Could you imagine if he was watching that live, if you had a heart rate monitor on that guy or like if you could measure blood pressure in that moment live, just see that. They show you all the time the win probability of the teams, and they're like, yo, if you look here, this team was about to win, and then this play happened, and it went down, and then the other team won. What would his blood pressure look like in the moment if he saw that? I cannot even fathom.
I got a little fun fact about Mike Ditka for you.
Okay.
My guy won a Super Bowl with the Bears. One of the greatest tight ends ever to play the game. It was National Tight End Day yesterday. I heard that 1,000,000 times.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Ditka's in the Hall of Famer as a tight end. People don't remember that because, they weren't alive, most of them, to watch Ditka play. He's 90. But his original last name is not Ditka.
What's his original last name?
Dixo.
Dixo?
Dixo.
What?
When he was young.
Get a spelling on that?
His Dyczko.
Okay.
Dixo.
Dixo.
When he was young, his father apparently said, I'm not getting any street cred with Dixo. I'm going to change the family name to Ditka. My question is, if you are, first of all, be proud of your name. All right. If it's Dixo, it's Dixo.
That's your name.
But if you're going to change the name, wouldn't you just eliminate the Dick family altogether and just go someplace else?
Well, wouldn't you just move on from, why even be in the D's? Why can't you just say, oh, hey, our last name now is like Anderson or
whatever.
Richardson or something.
Clearly you're changing it because you're ashamed of it. You want to assimilate with an easier name to say. Why wouldn't, I'm not saying you should, but if you're going to change the name, I'm saying get out of the Dick family.
I wonder if there would ever be, maybe it would be a situation where maybe there was another family that they knew growing up. You said this was the dad of Ditka who did this, right?
Yes, but
Mr. Dixo.
Mr. Dixo.
Yeah.
But Mike Ditka at one point was little kid Dixo.
Mike Dixo. What I'm saying is...
Don't say that too loud.
Mr. Dixo was sitting there and he goes, hey, I got to change the name. Back home, there was a family known as Ditka. And I always liked that family. And I actually kind of wish that had been my last name. Well, now it is. Like, now he just changes it to make it that his last name. Maybe that's why he picked it. Not just because it sounded close to Dixo, but maybe because there was a family he really respected. He was like, I kind of felt like a kindred spirit with you guys. In another life, maybe I could have been your kid instead of my parents' kid. Maybe that's the name he would have picked. I don't know.
The elder Dixo was a former Marine.
Okay.
Worked in...
Sergeant Dixo.
Worked in the... That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe Colonel.
Colonel Dixo.
I don't know.
Sure.
Salute the Dixo. He worked in the steel industry in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
As you do.
Of course.
And then his son grew up to be Iron Mike.
Yeah.
Played football at Pitt.
Yeah.
Top 10 pick. Went to the Bears. Superstardom. Had a little bit of a problem. Went to the Cowboys, Teddy. Rejuvenated himself. Had a great final act of his career. Also learned under Tom Landry. Became an assistant with the Dallas Cowboys. And then took over the Bears. And all of that family history was erased last night because you can't cover a Hail Mary pass.
That's right. It's all gone. They actually ripped his bust out of the Hall of Fame. They said, let's get this Ditka Dixo guy out
Seriously,
of here.
has somebody checked on him?
I hope so.
Well, Rimmer should do a welfare check. First of all, do a welfare check on Rimmer. I haven't heard from him in about 12 hours. Hello?
Yeah, check in and see what's going on.
He called me earlier in the show.
So he's alive. All right,
good.
tell him to check on Dixo.
He's listening right now.
I wonder if there is an age limit that you reach when you're a former coach where you're just like, for my health, I can't watch this stuff anymore. Because it's got to be if you're 90 and you play.
Don't know.
Mike Ditka probably what did his career start in the 50s? Am I wrong?
61 with the
61.
Bears.
Okay, I was going to say late 50s, early 60s. So you're talking a very different brand of football than we have now. Again, he played tight end, but that was when there was a lot more fullback being used. Tight end was a lot more of a blocking position. He was one of the guys who kind of revolutionized that position to a degree.
He was the OG, like receiving tight end.
Right. So I'm just saying that is such a different brand of football than what you see now. And even when he coached in the 80s and 90s, that was just different. The rules have changed. How can he watch, like, when you see Aaron Rodgers standing in the pocket being terrible, but then he throws a bad pass and gets bailed out because a defensive lineman, pinky, grazed his top of the crown of his helmet, and they said, oh, that's a roughing the passer, 15 yards, first down. Like, Mike Ditka can't be watching that. That would get him. Like, there's so many things now that I think would frustrate him. Guy goes over the middle, gets his head taken off, players immediately ejected. Mike Ditka sitting there going, that's a good play. Like, I don't know how he could have watched any of this stuff. So you're right. If he was watching that, probably wasn't good for him.
Aliquippa, where he grew up.
Yeah.
Aliquippa. Hey, Sports Equinox today. You know what that is?
Tell me.
I was unaware of it until Teddy told me today. It is when all 4 major North American leagues, again, don't blame me. I know Major League Soccer is a North American professional league, but they're not mentioned here. The National Football League, NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League have games scheduled on the same day. So we got World Series tonight. We got Monday Night Football tonight, NBA, NHL. This will only be the 31st time in Sports Equinox history.
I'm surprised
that this has happened.
I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often, right? That you wouldn't have all the. I guess in part it's because Major League Baseball used to not take until almost November to contest the World Series, right? That used to happen a little bit earlier in the career. I mean, it used to be you'd finish the regular season and then play the World Series with the 2 pennant winners, and that was that. Then they went to, all right, we're going to have playoffs, but not a huge amount. Now you got multiple wild cards, you got all this other stuff. So yeah, I guess that's probably why it leaks into those seasons finally, where you can have some of that crossover.
I think we have to come up with a new name, because if we dig deeper, you also have Major League Soccer going on tonight.
Yes, you do.
You got playoff games on FS1, so Equinox is outdated.
You know what it is? It's a sports eclipse. It's not an equinox. Tonight is an eclipse. We're blacking out the sun with all this sports. That's what we're doing.
Fat Boy Food Yap! Coming up next, Colin Man and T-Bone on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should know that there's an accident on the right shoulder of southbound 270 on the east outer belt at I-70. It's causing slower traffic from Main Street, and we've got about a 5-minute delay on southbound 315 between Lane Avenue and Town Street. This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Bernie Marino faced multiple lawsuits claiming discrimination against employees.
2 accused him of gender and age discrimination, and the 3rd accuses him of race discrimination. Marino was sued for failing to pay overtime wages.
At some point in life, we've all experienced that boss. You know, the boss you hope you never work for again. Well, Bernie Moreno is that boss. Bernie Moreno was sued for discriminating against his employees. Like a woman he belittled for being a single mom, and a black man demoted from his position as manager after raising concerns he was being paid less than his white co-workers. And Bernie Moreno was caught failing to pay his employees the overtime they earned. And then Moreno shredded evidence to try and cover it up. A judge ordered Moreno to pay $400,000 to former workers. Yes, Bernie Moreno is that boss. And he most certainly shouldn't be our senator.
I'm Sherrod Brown running for Senate. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Sherrod Brown.
Hey, what's up? It's Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night, and you can't stand your CPAP machine. The good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine, and Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your significant other will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and stops your snoring. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. Yeah, Marysville. If you're snoring and waking up all of Marysville or wherever you live and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. And as the end of the year approaches, a lot of people have exceeded medical deductibles, which means less out of pocket for you. Don't delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also check him out online, sleepbettercolumbus.com, and now sleepbettermarysville.com.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Why choose the Hinderer Motor Company? We don't just sell vehicles, we build relationships. This is Justin Hinderer. With 4 top-tier dealerships and a state-of-the-art collision center, we're here for you every step of the way. From our exclusive Carvenience service that handles everything from pickup to delivery to our 24/7 towing and roadside assistance, we make your life easier. And every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty because we believe in what we sell. Experience the difference and visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Blue Jackets at home with Edmonton tonight at Nationwide Arena. 7 o'clock face-off here on the Fan. It starts a stretch of 4 games in 6 days for the Blue Jackets. Monday Night Football in the NFL. New York Giants in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. From college football, Ohio State appealed the targeting call against linebacker Arvell Reese on Saturday against Nebraska. And after determining the call was incorrect by the NCAA standards, Reese will not have any carryover punishment. Clear to play the whole game at Penn State. Nittany Lion coach James Franklin says quarterback Drew Aller could be a game-time decision. Suffered an ankle injury Saturday at Wisconsin. Game 3 of the World Series tonight. The Yankees host the Dodgers. L.A. has a 2-0 series lead. This update brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa credit card from BMI FCU. Apply at bmifcu.org/Visa. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are you fired up? Is it Monday? It must be Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Murdering brain cells, one show at a time. Back to Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. So glad you've tuned in. 3 hours a day, every single day. Jason's Beef live from Yankee Stadium coming up at 5:34. Anthony Richardson, Colts quarterback, said he needed a breather during the second half of the Colts' loss to the Texans. And that's making the rounds today because everybody's saying, I've never heard of a quarterback asking out for a non-injury reason. He's just tired. He was running around a lot the previous couple plays, and he needed a breather. This was a red zone possession, a key third down in the second half. Flacco Mike Kracko comes in and hands the ball off. Now, after the game, Anthony Richardson admitted as much. Said, I was really exhausted. I was tired. I don't know what's worse. The fact that you had a quarterback asking out because he was tired, or that you had a guy admit it. At least lie.
Right.
Say, oh, man, I got the wind knocked out of me, or somebody grazed my nuts, or something happened. Lie.
So in this situation, it was what, 3rd and goal from like the 23 because they'd had a penalty.
Something like that. And
so he's saying, yeah, I knew we were going to run the ball anyway because we're just going to play it safe, try to get the field goal because we're not going to air it out on 3rd and 23.
All right,
and
why couldn't you hand it off then?
Right.
We're going to run the ball anyway. All right.
Now, you know what? I'm actually going to say we're always looking for sports heroes who are relatable, right? Remember how people loved Phil Mickelson? Because like, he's an average guy. Look at him out there. He's just like a weekend golfer. It's like, other than when he hops on the private jet and flies across the country and loses $200 million in gambling debt. But yeah, other than that, he's a pretty normal guy. But people gravitate to that. Like, I can relate to Phil Mickelson. He looks kind of pudgy in a polo like I do.
I have paternity suits in every city I go to.
That was a myth, but people believed it with him.
I too was given $200 million by Saudi princes.
What I'm saying is, Anthony Richardson is a freak of nature. He can throw the ball like 80 yards in the air. Remember his big arm? Everybody talks about that, his combine numbers, all that stuff. And it's like, I can't relate to any of that. What I can relate to is a guy going, hey, I just had to run for like a combined 18 seconds, maybe total, over the last 3 minutes, and I'm winded. I'd like a breather. Like that, again, that doesn't make you a good NFL player. That does make you very relatable to me, a fat ass.
All right, that's fine. However, if you're going out there completing 65% of your passes and winning games, maybe nobody says a damn thing.
100% right.
He's completing 44.4% of his passes. What was he yesterday? 10 of like 32?
Yeah.
He's awful.
God.
He stinks.
Yeah, but remember, again, not that we get everything right, but it feels like when we were watching him in college, you and I both said, hey, that Florida team he's on is hot garbage, but he's got a big arm. I don't know if that's enough to get you done in the NFL. And then what did all the NFL insider goobers that are just live and die with this stuff?
He's got the raw tools. We can mold him.
I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about the guys who are like either ex-players who are now paid for their opinions on sports, or people who consult NFL teams, or the actual draft people in these rooms that are anonymous sources. All they did was talk out like, oh, man, this guy, you got to watch out for him because that arm, you can't coach arm talent. It's like, right, can you coach like all the other aspects of being a quarterback, though? Because he's not good at them. And also hurt a lot. When he is like able to maybe have a good game.
And tired.
Now you add tired to the mix. Again, from the logical standpoint of, well, I'm just going to go in there and hand the ball off anyway. You know what? Maybe he's revolutionizing the position, right? Used to be pitchers would go 9 innings. They just throw 200 pitches, and that's just how you lived. Now, maybe we're going to have like third down quarterback. It's like, well, it's just handoff time. Get the handoff quarterback in there. Don't waste our starter out there. Let's put on a reserve guy for the handoffs. That's what we need to do.
I think Flacco is just like get your helmet. What? Why?
Well, he's
tired.
I mean, he's been a backup long enough. He knows, like, any time, any moment, you could be out there. But then he's probably looking at it as like, well, what happened? I guess he got hurt. And he come back and he goes, nah, he's exhausted, a little winded.
All right. Also, lie. Just do yourself a favor.
Lie. Absolutely right.
Common Man and T-Bone have very little value unless they're telling you about all the crap they can shove in your mouth so you can die quicker. It's time for Fat Boy Food Tip. Wait, how do you want me to say it? Tip. This is dumb. I quit.
All right. You told me earlier today that you bit the bullet.
I did.
And you tried. For some reason, we talked about this before, Cheryl's cookies. I adore them. I love them. I have them in my freezer now.
They make delicious cookies.
I take them out. They thaw in half an hour. You eat it. It's delicious.
Right.
For some reason, they have come out with a frosted dill pickle flavored cookie. Now, I'm not anti-pickle. I'm Uncle Pickle. I'm not anti-pickle like T-Bone is.
Oh, I hate pickles.
I enjoy a good pickle. However, I have no desire to have a pickle cookie. You hate the pickle, and yet somehow you tried this cookie.
Yeah, so shout out to my wife's Aunt Jerry.
She's anti-pickle.
Well, she sends us delicious Cheryl's cookies from time to time. We appreciate them. We get them at least once or twice a year from her in a giant box. She recently had some of the family over, and she always provides, even if she doesn't have a full box of cookies, she'll send over some gifts. And so she said, I know how much T-Bone, Jonathan, loves pickles. So I wanted to gift you guys one of these cookies. So she actually brought a couple of them in there. They're individually wrapped. We all the family, we opened it up and we all took little bites because newsflash, we had an idea this wasn't going to be good.
Was anybody impressed by it?
No,
everybody hated it.
So my wife likes pickles. I wouldn't say she's like a pickle fanatic.
Pickle puss.
No, if we go to a place that serves, like a deli that serves pickles, I will take the pickle spear and give it directly to Melissa, and she will say, thank you. Good. Then she gives me all her bacon. This is the relationship.
She doesn't like bacon?
She doesn't do bacon. She's not a big bacon person.
Who is she?
What? Look, man, I'm just telling you, that's how we've been married for 19 years.
Jen Winters.
I give her my pickles. She gives me her bacon. What do you want me to say?
All right.
Anyway, so then she opens this up. We get a whiff. It's pickly. It's dill. It's a lot of dill. You can actually see the flecks of dill in the frosting.
Oh, all right. Well, made with fresh dill.
They said it's made with pickle flavoring, dill relish. It's pickle buttercream frosting. Yeah. And when I tell you, I took a bite of this cookie and I swallowed it. I took the whole bite. I chewed it up. I gave it an actual sample. And then I wanted to vomit. And again, Cheryl's, I'm sorry. I know you guys tried this. It's a fun thing. Maybe if you like pickles. But my wife tried it and she was like, I can't really do this. It's the creamy factor that you expect from a Cheryl's cookie. That frosting is so good. It's buttercream. But it is paired with something that I just don't associate with that texture, and it made me want to gag.
All right, here's my problem with this.
So it's not for me.
Right. And look, maybe you love it. That's fine. However, I don't know why we're wasting our time. You can't tell. You're taking up machine time, factory time. You could be manufacturing another fantastic flavor that people love.
Right.
Instead, you're taking time out, manufacturing pickle cookies. I'll give you a little story.
Yeah.
I got a little thing of Tupperware. Or,
I know what Tupperware
whatever the
is.
hell. I know, but I don't know if that's the brand or whatever it is.
I know what you mean. It's
Rubbermaid, something.
It's some kind of plastic thing you can put food in.
I have these little Lifesaver mints that I eat every single day. I put 4 in my pocket every single day, and I store them in this piece of Tupperware.
Right.
This Tupperware is so impregnated with the smell of mint.
Yeah.
Right? It's seeped into the plastic. I have washed this thing. I've put it through the dishwasher multiple times trying to get that smell out of it, and I can't.
It's in there.
It has peppermint until the end of time. Maybe you're having down the road an orange cookie.
Oh,
from Cheryl's.
One of my favorites that they make.
Or a lemon, or one of the citrus cookies that they make that are so refreshing. You take a bite and you're like, hey, this tastes a little pickly. I wonder why. It's probably because they can't get the taste out of the machine.
Right.
They made the pickle cookie in the same machine they're making one of your favorites in, and that flavor is going to be seeped into the machine. You can't get it out.
Honestly, I want to go back. I want to go over to the Easton location and just go get some Cheryl's cookies tonight because I need to get I know they're good. I love Cheryl's cookies. I need to get this taste out of my mouth. Like, I can't have that be the last Cheryl's cookie that's on my palate because that's just wrong. Their key lime cookie, by the way, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But, yeah, this is the time of year, man. You start seeing all the holiday boxes, doing it for Halloween, Thanksgiving, all that stuff, Christmas. This is the time of year. It's festive. I love those cookies. Instead, I have a pickle cookie on my memory, and I can't get rid of it.
All right, also, if you're a fat ass and you enjoy Mexican food like I do, Chewy's, they have a couple locations here in town, one at Polaris, one at Easton. They have a couple new specials on the menu. One of them is an appetizer that consists of, and your wife will not like this, but it is a guacamole ball.
Okay.
That they've stuffed bacon into.
Oh,
and they've deep fried it.
Oh, yeah.
And they serve it with the creamy jalapeno dipping sauce.
My God.
It is around until, I want to say, early December. It is a new special. They're also doing a fried chicken breast that they've coated in chips. And they've fried it.
Oh, yeah.
I have not tried that yet, but the guacamole balls, A-OK.
By the way, I didn't confirm this, and I'm sorry that I haven't done it. We have been getting reports. I would love to hear back from the audience that Arby's is apparently floating out there a 4 for $10.
It's not 5 for $5, but that's pretty strong.
4 for $10 is
pretty strong.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I have not confirmed this. I've not been able to look in the app and see that, but we had a couple people messaging us that.
Okay.
If you find that and you find that is true, let us know.
Check with your local Arby's. I call mine on a regular basis just to get the skinny.
You scream at them, get rid of the Wagyu burger and give me cheaper roast beef.
That's
you
right.
fools. Damn you.
Hey, no panic for Joe Burrow. Details next. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at some slowdown due to an accident that's on the left shoulder of southbound 270 on the west outer belt between Cemetery Road and Roberts Road. And we've got a couple-minute delay due to another accident that's on eastbound 670's off-ramp to 71. It is causing slower traffic from 315. Also expected delay on westbound 670 from 71 to Neal Avenue. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sports book is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. The Fan and High Bank Distillery have partnered to release 3 exclusive whiskey barrel picks, which you can try out with me on Tuesday, November 12th at High Bank in Grandview. Tickets benefit the Third and Goal Foundation, helping veterans and their families.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. At Reichert, we're dealing.
Hear that? That's the sound of Bernie Moreno shredding evidence to avoid paying his employees. You see, Moreno refused to pay his employees the overtime pay they earn, so they sued him. And after a court ordered Moreno to keep the evidence of his wage theft, what did he do? That's right, he shredded it. Moreno even admitted to shredding evidence in court. He was found liable for wage theft, and a court forced him to pay over $400,000. Innocent people don't shred evidence. And now that Bernie Moreno is running for Senate, he doesn't want to talk about how he was caught ripping off his employees. And that begs the question, do you want a guy like that representing you in the Senate? Bernie Moreno, you can't trust him to be for you. The United Association of Plumbers and Pipefitters paid for and is responsible for the content of this ad. UA.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Low energy, brain fog, or bloating? Your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Fair skies, light winds, and a pleasant end to this Monday. Temperatures in the low 60s, down to the mid-50s overnight with mostly cloudy skies. And after a mild start, a really warm finish on Monday near record high 80 degrees with plenty of sunshine and gusty winds. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
And from every dime a dog night in the Midwest.
Because he's fat.
Here's Man and Bone.
Jayson's beef. Oh, crap.
Oh, boy.
Jason's beef.
Oh, boy.
With our guy, Jayson Stark, live from Yankee Stadium coming up at 5:34. This happens to me more and more now.
Mm-hmm.
Something I was going to tell you right on the tip of my tongue, and now it's gone. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani, shoulder, going to play tonight. He's fine. Dramatic baby in game 2. He's good to go for game 3.
He dislocated his
tonight.
shoulder.
Hell with him. He's good to go. He's fine.
Dislocated or separated?
Is there a difference?
I don't know. I thought so. I think one of them's worse. I
Gotta
think
keep them separated.
Yeah, I think he just got the dislocation. Still bad, but
Okay.
he's gonna swing a bat with that shoulder.
Anyway,
See how it goes.
The dude who caught his 50th home run ball, historic, because he's the first guy to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in one season.
Yeah.
So the dude caught his 50th home run ball, and the team comes up to him. Hey, Shohei would really like the ball, and if you give him the ball, we'll really make it worth your while. You get a jersey and a bat, and we'll give you some tickets and blah. And this guy said, "No, I'm going to take my chances on this ball." Did you see how much the ball sold for?
No.
$4.5 million. I'm guessing he made the right call.
Oh, man, all these people are just like, yeah, man, give it to the Dodgers. They earned it. Give it to Shohei. It's his. Shut up. Shohei.
Who's going to turn down a $4.5 million check?
Number one, Shohei Ohtani could have bought that ball and then gone to, in his couch and found $4 million and said, here you go. Let's pay for that. Like that, the Dodgers make how many millions of dollars a year? They could obviously have bought this ball if they wanted to.
Shake the interpreter's pockets, $4.5 million falls out of that.
Yeah, if the Dodgers at the time said, hey, here's $1 million for that ball.
He probably takes it.
He would have taken it.
He probably takes it.
Yeah, you could have had it for less, but you could have got the hometown discount. You tried to get it. I never understand this, why Major League ball clubs, who are businesses who make millions of dollars, try to get this stuff from the fans by going, what if I gave you $200 worth of free merchandise? Would that be okay?
And they usually accept.
Yes, but why do you try to scam your customers?
I know.
Why not just come up to them and say, hey, you may not understand how valuable what you have is, but we do.
To your point,
we're the team that wants it.
If
we'll pay
Shohei
you
wanted
for
it so badly, he could have bought it.
Well, I'm saying any of these ball players could do that, right? Even if it is let's say it's I don't know, some guy who's I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. A guy who's made no money in the league, who's a down on his luck guy. But let's say he is pinch hit in a Game 7. He hits a home run. It becomes
Palka?
Maybe it's Palka. Yeah. Was that Trevor Palka?
Daniel Palka.
Daniel Palka. I'm sorry.
And we haven't played that in a
the
long
Palka,
time.
I forgot all about.
Oh, he's got his own theme song.
That guy isn't going to have. Yeah.
He's the Palka. Palka in the Palka. Palka. He's the Palka. Palka in the Palka. Palka.
I haven't thought about him in a while.
I forgot about Corporate Drone Rock meets Snaps. That is the band Imagine Dragons. I forgot all about them.
Hey, man, they're still popular.
I know, they're very popular.
Selling out
you know
arenas.
why? Because their lead singer takes his shirt off and he's really ripped.
Was that what makes him popular?
He's a big deal with that.
Should I take my shirt off?
No. Are you really ripped?
Who's to say that does it for everybody?
You're right. I don't know. I don't know what everybody's body type is. All I'm saying is if Daniel Palka, Trevor Palka, ripped shirt guy, whatever.
You're thinking of Trevor Plouffe.
Trevor Plouffe.
Who we also had a love affair with because we started using Plouffe as a verb.
Yeah. If Daniel Palka had hit a home run that mattered, that was super important, and let's say he's only on $1 million, all right, then the organization should buy that. Unless it's the White Sox, in which case they would say money and then run away.
The Bengals ploofed all over themselves yesterday. They lose to the Eagles. They're now 3-5. Joe Burrow, though, was upbeat after the game. He said, I think 10 wins usually gets you in, so we've got to win 7 out of 9. That's doable. So we'll go from there.
All right.
All right. Look, I know you have to say it. I get it. But that defense isn't stopping anybody.
Yeah.
What makes you think it's going to get better?
I don't know. Hopes and dreams, I guess.
Well, the offense wasn't that hot either, but I'm specifically talking about that defense.
All right, let's see the rest of their schedule real quick. He said 7 out of 9. We can do that. Got the Raiders next. All right, Raiders are bad. Then you're at the Ravens on a Thursday night, short week. That's going.
Although Ravens always lose these games. That's so Raven.
That's at home, but yeah, you're right. They could. Then they go to the Chargers. Tough one.
You win that.
Win
Punch
that for
Harbaugh
sure.
right in the throat. Absolutely.
You got to go out west. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Steelers and Cincinnati. We don't know who's going to play quarterback for them. Every week it's going to be different. But then you go to the Cowboys.
Win.
Okay.
Cowboys.
Then you're at the Titans. Win. Yeah.
I'll tell you, this could be coming true.
Then the Bengals are at home to host the Brownies.
Win. Oh, you know, we got Wiggle My Winston or whatever we.
Then you got the Broncos at home. I mean, I don't know what to make of this Broncos team. They don't seem
I know
that
what to
great.
make of them. They suck.
Yeah. All right.
Bo Nix. Get out of here with your Bo Nix. What, you got American Idol?
What does that even
Bo
mean?
Bicer.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's right. Because when you think Bo in sports, the first thing you think is Bo Bison.
That's what I...
Not Bo Jackson or anything. No, that wouldn't be the comparison.
Bo Bishop.
Bo Bishop,
I'd rather have him as my quarterback. Wearing his gondola T-shirt.
I agree with you. Big Montana out there slinging it. And then finally,
beef piled on that bun.
Bengals close it out at the Steelers. So they got 2 at the Steelers. I mean, okay.
They win the rest of their games.
You know what? Never mind. Then forget what I said. They're going to smoke everybody. Bengals will be fine. Why?
That's
you know
doable.
What? How do you spell that, Aaron Rodgers? RELAX? Is that right? They just need one more former Packers player. If they could get Richard Rodgers or whoever that was we talked about earlier, then maybe then the Jets would be good.
See, we live in a world with instant gratification when it comes to like getting a T-shirt designed. All right, we can make a phone call. 2 seconds later, we got a T-shirt up in a store.
That's right.
There's got to be a Bengal fan somewhere today that has, that does a shirt, Bengal colors, and all it says is, that's doable. And you got to win. You got to wear that to the game.
That's doable.
That's doable.
Doable. Look at this schedule. It's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not we're going to do it.
No.
But it's
doable.
Doable.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
This show could occasionally remember people's names.
No.
And that's doable.
You know who's going to forget his own name?
Oh, who's that?
Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward, the Browns have confirmed, suffered another concussion yesterday. That is his 6th documented concussion in the NFL. We're not even talking about other levels of play here.
I know people get really touchy about this, but I don't care. You need to be able to go to a quarterback, a defensive back, a linebacker, a lineman, whoever it is, if they have had more than establish a number of concussions. If it's 3, if it's 4, if it's 2, and they need to be told, hey, you have to wear a guardian cap now if you want to play in the NFL. That's what we're doing. I know trainers will do that with offensive linemen, right? If you look at most college football or some college football teams, I feel like the Buckeyes are often one of the teams that does this, where they just brace up their guys left and right knees with the bigger braces on the offensive line because they've seen so many guys get rolled up on. They're trying to prevent knee injuries. I feel like it's more in that line of thinking. If you have a guy who's had 3 or more concussions, as just to throw a number out there, make them wear a guardian cap. Not retire them, not tell them they can't go earn a living, but you have to put a guardian cap on. It's not an option for you anymore. And I'm not even saying that will protect you. It may not, but you have to play like that now. That's the rule.
Jason's beef from Yankee Stadium coming up next. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got some slow-moving traffic on eastbound 70 on the east side between Hamilton Road and 270. And you should watch out for an accident that's on the right shoulder of southbound 71 on the north side after Polaris Parkway. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. Ohio Laborers would like to congratulate Member of the Week, Carmen Henderson. Laborers Local 265 Cincinnati. Carmen is a proud 43-year retired member. Build Ohio right, build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. BMIFCU.org/Visa.
There was a time where I woke up every day and my knee kept bothering me. I wondered, would it ever get better? I'd like to go out and run. I'd like to go play golf. I'd like to hang out with my friends at the pool, go off the diving board, play with my kids, do the stuff that I wanted to do. I looked at having surgery, thought that's not the answer. Don't want to do that. I've had plenty of surgeries in my life. I didn't want to be on medication and just keep pounding ibuprofen and pain pills. That wasn't going to be the answer. So I want to get real, lasting relief, as thousands of patients will tell you. So I went over to QC Kinetics and talked to Dr. Ray Tesner. I even brought my dad with me and said, hey, he's got a bad knee too. He's at a little later stage in life. Could this work for him? QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies, including your own body's healing properties. That's what I wanted, to get healed up and do it the natural way. The choice is yours. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gahanna, or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, explains why he banks with First Bank of Central Ohio.
Anytime you're dealing with a local bank, it's about being able to pick up the phone and talk to real people. That is a huge pro. You know, when you get into these bigger banks, that doesn't happen.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
He likes baseball. He likes solar eclipses. He likes Shohei Ohtani. But he loves roast beef sandwiches. It's time for Jayson's Beef with everyone's favorite baseball writer, podcaster, author, and former mustache owner, Jayson Stark.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Train air conditioners.
Jayson Stark is in every single Hall of Fame known to man. He joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Hello, my friend.
You know, what's even more impressive than that is I found a quiet spot in Yankee Stadium. There's only one, you know.
Teddy comes up to me during the break and says, Jayson wants to know what you want to talk about. I don't know. The World Series, maybe? Or you want to talk about why the White Sox are not going to hire Skip Schumacher? Who cares?
You care. You care about that one.
No one cares. I barely care. All right,
Okay,
World Series. Dodgers are up 2-0. Dramatic walk-off victory in Game 1. Are the Yankees still in this series?
Yeah, of course. You know, a wise man once told me that when a series is 2-0, it can't possibly be any more lopsided. But when the team that hasn't won then wins and it's 2-1, it can't possibly be any closer. So if you ask me in 24 hours, I might not have the same answer. But right now, we're right on schedule. The home team's got to hold serve. That's all.
Well, in that home team, Aaron Judge is a part of the lineup that's not getting the job done to the level that, you know, many had hoped. This has obviously been a little bit of a knock on him. There was an at-bat he had where Yamamoto threw him a couple of pitches that usually he just takes over the fence, or at least gives a nice ride to, and he wasn't able to do much with him, looked at one of them, fouled off another. How big is this game for him? I mean, is this more than just getting his team back in the World Series? Does this have something to say about his legacy if he can't get the job done tonight?
Well, I mean, it's not specifically tonight, but this is the first night of this World Series in Yankee Stadium. It's the first World Series game he has ever played in front of these people. And I'm just going to hazard a guess that they're aware of his stats. So
yeah,
they might remind him of those stats if this night doesn't go well. You know, I think about him, what I think about almost the Yankees' whole lineup. The Dodgers are the better lineup. They're the more baseball-y lineup. They're probably the better roster. But the Yankees can erase everything with one swing. And that's true of Aaron Judge. Just the pitches he's swinging at now are hard to fathom. He's gotten to that point where he takes the strikes and swings at the balls. And that's not the guy I remember, but it's the guy he has been in this postseason and actually in his postseason career. You'd think it's going to change one of these nights, one of these swings, but now would be a good time.
Jayson's Beef with our guy Jayson Stark here on The Fan. Obviously, all these teams, entities, Major League Baseball, the NFL does this overseas in Europe. They want to expand their fan base. They want to make as much money as possible. Game 2 audience in Japan was 15 million. Here, it was 13.5 million. I mean, you've got people at 9 o'clock in the morning, 15 million people in Japan watching this World Series. Obviously, there's Shohei, there are guys on this team that they care about, but how does Major League Baseball, I know they've played games over there, they're going to continue to do that, but how do they capitalize on this popularity?
Oh, they're busy capitalizing. The Dodgers are busy capitalizing. You're not going to expand to Tokyo. That's never going to happen. But with every Japanese star who comes here and becomes a huge star in Major League Baseball, the appeal of our version of the sport just grows over there. And it's not going to stop. But, you know, especially because it's the Dodgers, and especially because it's Ohtani and Yamamoto, and they were already the two biggest Japanese stars to come here since Ichiro. You have an all-time draw and a team that's the all-time Japanese attraction. The other thing that I've always observed about Japanese players is, look, the money is obviously a reason they come here, and to test themselves against the best. But the other part of it that is always there is they come to represent their country. They come to represent their people, and their country, their people feels that. And so they're incredibly connected to what these guys do. And it's not just a sporting event for them. There's so much national and international pride on the line. I mean, you just can't bottle that, can you?
Don't think you can. You also can't bottle the feeling you get when you're watching a walk-off grand slam in a World Series. I can't imagine what Freddie Freeman felt like after that happened in Game 1. Where does that moment rank for you among the World Series moments you've been present for, and what was his mood like when you, I'm sure, got to speak with him?
Yeah, it's that moment is way, 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 way up there, and especially because of just the crazy parallels with Kirk Gibson, like down to Joe Davis's Vince Scully tribute call. She is gone. Two guys who had missed time, were limping around, could barely walk. And the next thing you know, they were having that moment, that walk-off swing of the bat. It lands in the same section of the right field pavilion as the Kirk Gibson homer. It's hit at 8:37 p.m. Eastern, 5:37 p.m. California time, just like Kirk Gibson's homer. It's crazy. Just that aspect of it alone makes it a goosebumpy kind of moment. But the fact that there are only 2 home runs hit in the history of the World Series by a team that was 1 out away from losing and then won because of that swing, doesn't that put it over the top? There's just Gibson and Freddie, and that's it in 120 World Series. It's almost 700 games. It's amazing to me.
You and I have talked about this before. I think baseball has an advantage when it comes to nostalgia. They need to lean into nostalgia. I remember, David Freese hitting that home run for the Cardinals. You thought the Rangers were going to win the World Series. And Joe Buck with the same call as his father in Game 6 saying, we'll see you tomorrow night. I had that going through my head as I'm watching that Freddie Freeman home run in Game 1. Major League Baseball can't remind people enough of that. Lean into it.
So true, Mike. And that, I don't know if you saw the great piece in The Athletic about Joe Davis talking about that call. And it's not like he planned to say that because nobody knows that's going to happen.
Right.
But in his office is this photo of Kirk Gibson on deck about to go up and hit there. So he's thought about the Kirk Gibson homer every day, right since he moved into that house, and that photo was hanging there. And I think that it really means something along the lines of what you just outlined, that the people who do play-by-play of our sport are so aware of what came before them and connect those dots and sometimes pay tribute to the great calls that came before them. And, I have a bunch of those calls swirling around my head all the time. It's the beauty of baseball that things happen that you never see coming and feel like they're once in a lifetime, but sometimes you find out they're twice in a lifetime. And when you see those twice in a lifetime moments, everybody recognizes what the first one was. And when we connect the dots, it's what separates baseball from every other sport. And you couldn't be more right about this.
You'll appreciate this. Halloween is on Thursday. My 7.5-year-old daughter is going as a Rockford Peach.
No crying.
No crying. It was all her decision too. I didn't force it on her. Rockford Peach.
That's beautiful. I met 2 members of the original Rockford Peaches one time. They were delightful, and I'm sure your daughter will be delightful.
You said that like you and Ric Flair met up with him at a bar or something.
Please, you were having the bed I was at, but I'm sure your daughter will be just as delighted every Reese's peanut butter cup that gets dropped into her house.
Absolutely. Jason, my daughter's going as Bobby Bonilla's annual $1.07 million payment that he's still getting till 2032. So we're in the spirit of baseball.
That's right.
Jason, enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk to you next week.
Look forward to it, guys. Thanks.
Jason's Beef, live from Yankee Stadium. He's in a broom closet at Yankee Stadium on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Back page coming up. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a 5-minute delay if you're on westbound 161 between Johnstown Road and Hamilton Road. And we have a couple minutes slowdown due to an accident that's on the left shoulder of southbound 270 on the west outer belt between Cemetery Road and Roberts Road. And also expect a slowdown on northbound 71 on the south side from Greenlawn Avenue to 315. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip to a postseason game, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
It's a crisis. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden opened our border, and Democrats helped them. Liberals have destroyed the work President Trump accomplished to build the wall and secure the border.
Sherrod Brown is a radical left politician who has played politics for 50 years, making a career of selling you out. He's for broken borders and illegal migrants pouring into your cities and towns.
Kamala and Brown have made Ohio less safe. Nearly 500,000 criminal illegal immigrants have been released into America and our neighborhoods, including 13,000 convicted murderers and untold amounts of drugs.
Bernie Moreno will stop it. He's going to secure our border. You got to go out and back Bernie Moreno. I've known him so long. An outsider, businessman who will fight for you. He's going to work with me. We're going to make America greater than ever before.
I'm Bernie Moreno, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bernie Moreno for Senate and NRSC.
Cap off Week 8 in the NFL with a chance to win on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Listen up. New customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins on tonight's game. And here's what you got. You got an SGP. That's the same game parlay for MNF. That's Monday Night Football, Giants and Steelers. You got Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. Maybe you take the over on his passing TDs. You got Malik Neighbors, receiving yards. Take over Najee Harris anytime, touchdown. Hey, who knows? Maybe you get crazy and you throw Danny Dimes in the mix, Beam.
I'm taking the under on Giants points scored. Tell you that much. Just visit FanDuel.com/juice. Make every moment more of the season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older. Present in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Buckeyes head to Happy Valley for a Big Ten battle with Penn State.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday morning at 6:30 with the kick at noon.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6%. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about 10 grand in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Chevy.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Buckeye Show coming up at the top of the hour. The fine host of the Buckeye Show, your friend and mine. He's decked out in his Commander's stuff today, rubbing the salt in my wound.
Oh,
Timmy Hall.
Oh, you guys. Hey, Mike, see any good Hail Marys lately?
I saw it. Hell yeah.
Hey, how about that idiot that plays defensive back for you?
What's his name?
Stevenson.
Yeah.
What a loser.
You know, I had resident fact checker Joe Tardy say, you know what his assignment was on that play? Blocking Noah Brown.
Oh, not dancing?
I didn't realize that.
No, yes, that's what his principal assignment was, blocking Noah Brown.
Oh, glad to see he did not do that.
Like block him off of his spot there or somewhere in the middle of his...
Just stand in front of him. Make sure that if the ball comes to him, you can knock it down.
Make sure he's not standing in the end zone.
Wide open.
3 yards away from everybody else, wide ass open.
I would say for Stevenson, it was a hell of a tip. I mean, he killed the momentum of the football. He tipped it up in the air and back to Noah, who is standing there. Apparently, he's supposed to be covering him and checking him. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful job by him.
You're in a whole mood today, aren't you?
I mean, you know, I
did you run around the neighborhood last night?
It was just great. It was great. When seeing that play.
You haven't had a lot to cheer for recently. So on that level, I'm happy for you.
They're 6-2. And you know me with this team lately, I'm still going to take it in stride.
Timmy.
I'm not planning on playoff wins.
Timmy.
I'm just going to see how it goes.
They're 6-2. You've sold the team now away from Dan Snyder.
Okay.
Right? You've got a quarterback who looks like the real deal. Now, again, you had one that looked like the real deal, too, in RG3.
Certainly did.
Had a very good rookie year.
What happened when he got hurt?
And then poo-poo.
Mentally and physically changed forever.
I understand that, but Jaden Daniels has nothing to do with him. He's a difference maker, even with bruised ribs, and he shouldn't even be playing in that game last night.
Flings that ball 65 yards, runs around 41 yards.
He flicked it.
The one thing that pissed me off, I think it was ESPN put this headline out there, and it was a Stephen A. Smith thing. And it says, Washington got lucky to win that game. Do you think so? They converted a Hail Mary. 52
That's
yards.
the nature of the play.
Yes.
I'll take the win over the loss. It came down to the last play. And like you said, they were up 12-0 in that game. Bears
They could have been up 30-0 if they converted on their red zone opportunities.
And I understand. When you settle for field goals and don't score touchdowns, that's what happens. So there's also a little lesson to be learned in that game for them. But can you not just appreciate converting a Hail Mary? It does not happen.
I appreciate
really
it.
cool to see.
It does feel like a headline that you would have had with
did?
Yeah, I laughed out loud.
That Freddie Freeman home run. It feels like, hey, this home run doesn't happen very often in baseball. It's like, yeah, we know. A guy winning a game on a grand slam in the World Series, kind of important. You don't have to overstate that and say, like, hey, this is special. You don't have to tell someone on a Hail Mary, that's very unlikely. It's like, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Really? I know.
Why are we saying that?
There's luck involved, right? And there's going to be some luck involved if you recover an onside kick and then score again, you know?
That's why it's called the Hail Mary. You're praying.
It's a prayer. The play is named after praying on your hands and knees.
That's right. Right. What's coming up on the Buckeye Show tonight, Timmy?
Well, we're going to do as fast of a breakdown on this wild Nebraska game as we can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was weird. It was scary. Thought for a minute there that they're going to lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
and drop to 5-2 when it's unranked Nebraska in your building. And now you're staring right down the barrel of another top 5 road game. We know
Buckeyes
where we're at.
show, top of the hour. And then tonight, Jackets time. Jackets at home against the Oilers tonight at 6:30. We have the radio feed for you. If you're watching on whatever the hell they're calling that channel this week, FanDuel or something, John Davidson is the guest color analyst with Steve Mears tonight.
How about that?
So, JD, he's a legend. When
On
it comes
the
to
call.
broadcasting, he'll be on the call tonight. Back page, hit it.
The Back Page. The Back Page with Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Phone.
Well, man, Brazilian soccer star Neymar, who currently plays for a team in Saudi Arabia, but he is looking to possibly move to Major League Soccer.
Crew?
Well, Inter Miami is where they're thinking, Mike. And
get the hell out of here with that.
Could be coincidence, could have nothing to do with it, but Neymar just purchased a $26 million vacant lot on the Intercoastal Waterway in Miami. This lot
What's
is
the acreage on that?
0.63 acres. 150 feet of frontage to, again, the Intercoastal, not even oceanfront. It's Intercoastal front, but whatever. Apparently this was sold. It is believed he would be, it says the offering includes approved plans for a 13,000 square foot house designed by the London-based design firm Elicon. The property was recently listed for $28.5 million. No word on if building the house is included in that. Maybe it is. But either way, that's a lot of scratch for just a vacation home. So the thought is perhaps this guy, Neymar, may possibly want to reunite with his former Barcelona teammates, Luis Suarez, and this guy, Lionel Messi.
Ooh.
I'm sure Major League Soccer will bend all their rules to make that happen if that's what they want to do.
You ever been down to the Intercoastal Waterway? Take
Yes,
a
I
little
have.
boat ride right up to a seafood restaurant?
I have indeed.
Not impressed.
No?
No, I didn't like it.
You should try.
It's pretty good.
Should try kayaking at some time. Me and my wife did that once. Almost got.
Yeah,
we didn't
the Intercoastal.
We didn't even get married
thank
yet.
you.
We almost ended it right there on that kayak trip. It was a scene.
My wife wants to kayak everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Even
What?
if-
She just can't get enough of kayaking.
Your
and then,
wife?
And then once we're out there, she's all tired and wondering why we've done it.
I thought this was a joke for a second. She actually wants to kayak?
She loves kayaking. She got us lost out in the middle of the Lake Loch Ness in Scotland. They had to bring boats out there to get us. I told her, I was like, this is not going to work. She's like, I want to do it. It's going to be so much fun and so pretty. I'm like, we should just take a boat out there. They got stuck out there.
Were you doing the I
Tide
told you
took us
so
out.
when you're in the...
Little bit.
Yeah. You were hoping that sea monster would just rise on
I
up.
was ready for Nessie to just swallow me whole. I was done with that
All right,
day.
Buckeye show's next. Jackets time 6:30. We'll see you tomorrow. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should know that there's an accident on the right shoulder of southbound 270 on the east outer belt at I-70. It's causing slower traffic from Main Street. And you're also going to hit a slowdown on southbound 71 on the north side between Hudson Street and 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
This is a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. The Buckeyes are a 4-point road favorite at Penn State this weekend. Minus 175 on the money line, and Penn State is plus 150 to win. Total for the game is 47.5. Ohio State has the second best odds to win the national championship at plus 425. For your Prime Sports Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
We all know Central Ohio's growing fast. It's making traffic worse and life more expensive. That's why voting yes on Issue 47 is so important. Issue 47 will help folks get to work faster and cheaper by creating Coda Rapid Bus Service. That means more routes, better hours, and more reliable service. That will expand access to transportation for everyone in our community, from the elderly to the disabled, to veterans and students. And Issue 47 will make our neighborhoods safer and more walkable by building 500 miles of sidewalks, trails, and bikeways. When we pass Issue 47, we'll get $1 billion in matching funds from the federal government to pay for it. We're already sending our tax dollars to D.C. Let's bring some of that money home to help our community. Issue 47 means safer neighborhoods and a better quality of life for our families. It's an easy call. Vote yes on Issue 47. Paid for by moving Central Ohio forward.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week, I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move, move, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.